Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Riniker, Justin Charles, John Nye, and Josh All.
You gotta come on and be like,
I bet you it's working now, right?
Blake's talking to no one.
Says what somebody said.
I think it's probably good now.
You know I said something funny.
All right, we good.
right.
Well, guess what? Why don't we just? Hey, we're just going back
Are
it
we
up real
live
quick.
right now?
We're starting
Yep.
over.
Let's just start over.
Hey, we've been waiting all year for this. We're starting over. Deal with it.
We're doing it live.
We don't have a team of people behind us.
Why won't that
We have
work?
a team of cops.
Good job, Kyle.
Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Riniker, Justin Charles, John Nye, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome again to a special live edition of the Dogs Podcast here, NFL Draft Night 2, Browns pick 74 and 98. We're going to be with you all the way until the Browns make their picks. We're hoping they trade back so we can be on longer. No, I'm just playing. We're going to be here all night, though, hanging out with you guys. We appreciate you guys being here. We have a very special guest today. We have Derek DF Frisbee in studio. I already gave him his flowers once. You guys just couldn't hear it, but we're very excited to have him in studio. He's been a fan of the show for a while. We've been wanting to bring him here to Dover, Ohio, and he finally made the drive, so thank you for being here.
Yep, all the way through Amish country. You know, we had to bring the lost and founds to the studio. We got a special night tonight.
Yeah.
So y'all see it. Y'all see it.
Yeah, he's talking about his kicks.
Hey, Justin's got some ones, too. Y'all can't see it
They're
under
hidden.
the table.
We'll get them out later.
Justin's got
I'm
some
gonna go and
kicks
join
on.
him on the side table
Uh-huh.
when Jonathan gets here. But we'll just be showing off Jordan 1s all night.
There we
So,
go.
as you can see, it's a special night. John's going to be here around 8 o'clock. He couldn't get out of work. He's a hard-working man, but he is going to be here tonight. So we're going to have all four of us plus Derek all night. We're in this nice, fancy studio for tonight. Hopefully you guys like that. We've kicked it up a notch for our third draft night coverage. Before I do get into, your standard opening, I want to talk about, I saw a comment here from Unrendered. He said he'd join the dog pack when he graduates school soon. Bro, we got that 99-cent option just for you. It's not even $12 a month. I believe in you. I'm just playing. I'm giving you a hard
$12 a
time.
year.
It's $12
Cheaper
a
than the
year.
dollar menu.
$12 a year. Yeah.
There is no dollar menu anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
We're the only dollar menu in town, so
Exactly.
take advantage.
So we appreciate everybody who's here already. Hopefully you guys are hanging out with us all night. Remember, if you want to get your intros on the show, head to thedogspodcast.com. Tap leave voicemail on the drop-down menu. Obviously, we're going to get into last night's draft picks, the head scratchers, the teams we think we did well. We're going to be following the draft live all night tonight, talking about who we want to see the Browns take. Obviously, draft is going to start here in a couple minutes, so we'll see why I got time. I'm going to remind you guys, if you're watching on YouTube right now and you haven't yet subscribed, please do. Make sure you tap that notification bell so you never miss any new content that we're putting out. Derek's putting out content for us throughout the week. He's been helping us out a lot. That's been super cool. Josh has been pumping out more content during the week. And then obviously we're still putting out the main episodes every week. So you don't want to miss any of that. So make sure that notification bell is tapped. If you want to just listen to the shows, you can find us on Apple, Spotify, and Google. Lastly, if you're looking for more dogs content, head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page. I think Derek is a Dog Pack member, so he can speak about how awesome it is. You get to hang out with who knows, one day you might get to come be on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're cool enough. You got to be at least as cool as DF.
You got to have some kicks. If you're going to come on the show, you got to at least come with some sneakers.
Yeah, we don't let you in the studio if you just got plain Jane kicks on.
Yeah.
You get extra episode every week. You get access to the private Discord, which just got revamped. This is how cool the Discord is and how cool the dog pack is. We got the Discord set up tonight where people from literally all over the country and the world are feeding us information on draft prospects. Where it's like ESPN up in here. Yeah. So that's how cool the dog pack is. We're a really tight-knit community. So if you're interested in that, jointhedogs.com. If that's a little, steep for you, you're not looking for that much commitment to the dog pack, YouTube memberships, 99 cents a month. I already mentioned it. You get the sweet emojis. Looks awesome in the chat. You get priority answering in the chat. It's a lot of fun, and it just helps support the show. We couldn't have bought this $1 million studio without it.
We got it on a discount.
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys being here, all the support you guys give us. That's jointhedogs.com to become a dog pack member. So I think that's...
Well, the one thing I want to talk about is...
This show is brought to you by Omaha Steaks.
Well, I'm hungry. I want to dive into these.
So, yes, Omaha Steaks, grilling season is upon us. I know I got myself a Blackstone, so I'm going to be grilling out a bunch. They actually sent us a bunch of food tonight. So if you see us eating these burgers, it's because we're being paid to and we love them.
I better not see any memes of me eating. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I'm going to be covering my mouth. No, but they're awesome. They're super awesome. They're very tasty. So head to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code DOGS. Get huge discounts all summer long. We appreciate them sending us this food and sponsoring tonight's show. We couldn't do it without them. Look at all these level ones.
I know. We got Kevin Scanlon.
Just
Dog
me and
Pack
all my
Plus,
friends.
Thank you.
Oh, man. It's good to have you guys here. So
Love seeing this.
I think, the Steelers are going to be on the clock here once the draft officially kicks on. If this is anything like last night, the draft is going on and everybody watching on TV is 15 minutes behind. I don't know what that was up with last night. I was so far behind, even though I was on live.
I thought about just putting my phone down. Even though I was just texting with all my friends, and dog pack and everybody. I was like, oh, man, I wanted some surprise to it.
Well, that's for me. Last night was the first time in the NFL draft in a long time that I watched it strictly on the TV. I shut off my Twitter notifications, turned off text, didn't look at my phone. And it's a totally different experience because, when you have the sound off, you're trying to read lips. And that's impossible to do.
Yep.
And then you got now, and especially in rounds 2 and 3, you're going to have these special guests announcing picks. And it's like, man, everybody wants to give a 10-minute speech. Everybody's got something they want to shout out. It's like, man, come on.
I'm glad you practiced that yesterday because we're going to be doing that tonight. So you're going to be translating the TV off to the side for us.
So while we're waiting on the draft to start, I think we need to talk about last night.
Okay.
What'd you guys think of round 1? Just initial thoughts, what'd you think?
I thought it was a great time. I thought it was, it started off, I thought, the first pick was what we thought it was going to be. And then from there, I thought it just kind of was a lot of fun. Houston
did some things. That was cool.
Yeah, that was very fun to watch. And all week we heard different things. And I feel like this happens every time. All week you hear different reports, and they're not going to do this, they're going to do that. They take the guy that we always thought they should have taken.
Right.
And then they jump right back up to 3 and take.
What'd you think of that move? Because I feel like they're getting a lot of crap from people for that. What'd you guys think?
I liked it.
I think they get arguably the best quarterback, could be, in the entire draft. And then they go get arguably the best defensive player in the entire draft right away.
Yep.
Well, very smart for a new head coach, a team that desperately needs both those things.
Well, for me, we talk about it all the time. The NFL has now moved towards a pass versus defend the pass league.
Yes.
And you go out and you get one of the best passers. I would say the best passer in this draft is C.J. Stroud, who,
Easily.
The Georgia game, you saw what he can do. Marv got hurt, but still, he showed how good he is. And then on the flip side, defending the pass, one of the things, the aspects of defending the pass is the pass rush. And Will Levis, in my opinion, or not Will Levis, what a slip that was. Will Anderson.
We bring you on a live show.
Will Anderson.
10 minutes
Shut
in.
up, Blake. Will Anderson was by far the best edge rusher in this draft. I know Tyree Wilson's really good, but Will Anderson, 2 cornerstone pieces, C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson for the Texans. To kickstart a franchise with those 2 guys, they couldn't have done much better.
You potentially, like you said, just got your offensive and defensive leaders for the future. Boom, last night.
Are you worried about what they gave? I didn't think they gave up a ton, but if you look at it, in terms of where they are as a roster, they need a lot. Okay? I mean, who's Stroud going to throw to?
Nico Collins.
You know what I mean? So
Robert
are you
Woods.
concerned that they got 2 great pieces, but they needed so much, and they didn't give up the Browns picks, which could potentially be lower. They gave up their picks to have there's a chance those are top 5 picks.
That's a shot at us. They think they're going to be better than the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
That's what they're saying.
If that happens, I don't know if there'll be a Dogs podcast season 4 or 5.
Well, it's either that or the teams that they were trading with said, we don't want the Browns picks, we want your picks.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
I like their offseason, though. I mean, I think that if you've paid attention to what they're doing as far as defensively, they're silently building a nice defense. And you got a great coach. I mean, he's kind of unproven, but
Kind of.
very unproven. But just from what we've seen so far, I like what they've done. I think they're heading the right direction. That franchise has been. I mean, I know we're the Cleveland Browns podcast, and so it's hard to talk crap about what franchises have done over the last 20 years, but it's been rough for them also.
So I was pretty pumped to see CJ go number 2 to them because all the smoke. Yeah. I like CJ Stroud. Like you said, he's the best passer. To me, it's not even close.
Yeah.
I watch him make so many throws on the sideline, just unbelievable. And he showed, when willing, he's plenty athletic enough to impact the game with his legs. That Georgia game, that's what we've been begging for 2 years basically with him, and he showed he can do it. My only fear is, and I'm stealing this joke from John because since he's not here, is I hope he never requests a trade.
Oh, jeez.
Because who knows what's going to happen. What do you guys, Bryce Young going number 1, what do you guys think? Because everybody talked about just he's a generational talent, but man, he's tiny. Yeah. And we're seeing, Kyler Murray's having a hard time staying healthy.
Yep.
That kind of do you think does he survive?
That's my biggest fear because everybody talks about the size with Bryce Young. And like I said earlier in the show that I did this afternoon, it's not the height. The 5'10" thing's not that big of a deal. We've seen smaller quarterbacks under 6 foot have success, especially if they're the type of passer Bryce Young is, being accurate and everything like that on the field. But that weight, man, that sub 200 body, I don't know how that holds up taking the beating that he's going to take.
So PFF has him listed at 204 pounds.
He's not 204 pounds.
He came into that.
No. And that was he bulking up for months.
Yep.
And he ate a huge breakfast, and he didn't go to the bathroom, and he weighed in at 204. During the season and the grind conditioning, this dude's playing at 190.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He better not take any big hits. You know what I mean? He better be slippery. And he had the injury in college.
Yeah.
So that's a little concerning. Not for me because I'm not a Carolina fan. But if I'm a Carolina fan, I'm slightly concerned about that. He's obviously good.
Yes.
Very good.
Well, that's my biggest problem with the pick is it's not that Bryce Young is bad. It's just what's around him. You look at that trade. They traded their best wide receiver and valuable picks to go up and take Bryce Young. Mm-hmm. What's a quarterback if he has no weapons?
Right.
What's a quarterback if he has no offensive line? So at his size, I feel like he's going to be running around. And people forget this season at Alabama, he didn't have the same weapons. He didn't have John Mechie. He didn't have Jamison Williams. Mm-hmm. So, for what he did, even though Alabama had a down year for them, he did very well. But I'm seeing kind of a similar situation, maybe a little bit worse now with him going to Carolina. And the Steelers are selecting here.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
While they get their announcer up here to say the pick, I'll just say I don't think the Panthers' O-line is bad, but you're right as far as the receiving options that they have. There's nothing. Who's their one?
So
DJ
they got
Thielen's
Chark.
35. Joey Porter Jr. To the Steelers. We knew that was coming.
I thought that was coming for sure.
Yep, definitely thought that was coming.
That's one of those. Dad's got ties to the team.
Mm-hmm.
dude.
Yep.
So they did they had the inside track on that, information wise, that kind of thing. Dude's a stud.
Yeah. The thing about the Steelers drafting any defensive player, especially in the first 2 rounds, is that player is going to haunt the AFC North and the Browns in particular every year.
Forever.
Yep.
That's we'll see. Here's the deal: is I think the Browns' wide receiver room is so much better this year than it was last year. Just in terms, I think adding Elijah Moore I feel like it's an underrated add. He's, you know what I mean, like his speed and stuff like that. You got to think Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to continue to evolve. So I'd like to think them drafting a rookie corner is not doomsday for the Browns, but I guess we'll see.
It's not doomsday, but my problem, and we were talking before the show about this, that this was like the worst case scenario because the Steelers sitting at 32 with the guys that were on the board still. It's like this is a player they could have took with their first round selection.
No, for sure.
And he falls right into their lap, so they grab Broderick Jones and now Joey Porter Jr. It's like with Broderick Jones, we could say, you know what, Myles Garrett, welcome to the NFL kid. But here it's kind of like, who knows? Because, yes, the Browns have added a lot at wide receiver, but at the same time, it's like, do we really have that massive difference maker? Like, DPJ's great. He's been really good. I think Elijah Moore could be really, really good. He could be that guy, but do we have one guy other than Amari Cooper that we know for sure is the guy? And now the Steelers add Joey Porter, and it's frustrating.
So this is, Joey Porter, Penn State. He's almost 23. He's 22 years old right now, 6'2", 193 pounds. Ran a 4.46 at the combine. He's a press cornerback you want. He's 6'2". He attacks receivers at the line of scrimmage. He had a career there this past fall. He only allowed 143 yards in 10 games.
Yep.
It's wild.
That's insane.
It's wild.
By the way, shout out to the Discord because I just sound like Mel Kiper Jr. right there. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know any of that stuff 30 seconds ago. But no, he's going to be, as long as it translates to the pro game, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So we got the Cardinals on the clock. I want to go back to the first round. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about last night in this first round since the Browns don't have a pick. Who were your head scratchers? What was the first team that made a pick that you went, huh? Because I know what it was for me.
Go for it.
For me, it was at 4.
We're diving in.
Oh, here we go.
DF wants to fight me on this.
I got DF's back on this one a
thank
little
you.
bit.
There's
so.
no way you have his back. I don't believe
there
you.
is.
He's got his back. He's saying
you can't
it.
be the guy who tells me that you don't believe Lamar is a good enough passer to win this league, but you're pro-taking a guy who completed 53% of his passes in college at number 4 in the draft. There's no way.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't take Lamar 4 in the draft. I'm saying that I think that Anthony Richardson can do, and I'm sorry, my mouth is full. I got Omaha steak meat in my mouth. It's really good.
Pause.
But I think that he can do what Lamar did in the NFL.
No, it doesn't translate. Lamar won a Heisman at Louisville. Anthony Richardson played at Florida.
Okay.
He played 1 year, and by everything that I've read from scouts and analysts, and you tell me if you've heard the same thing, is his progression through that 1 year of he was named the starter, and then by the time he got done,
That's a guy you take in round 2 or 3.
No,
Then not at 4.
Can I sell you on Anthony Richardson?
No, it won't happen. It will not happen.
Oh, the Cardinals have traded the pick
Anthony Richardson
To the Lions.
to the
Oh,
Titans.
Titans.
Titans on the
Oh,
clock.
They're taking
they're
Hendon
coming up to
Hooker.
get Hendon Hooker.
Oh.
I bet you.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm calling
Or
it.
Levis.
They just took
Will
their
Levis
tackle in the
sucks.
first round, so I bet you
For the record.
they're not taking Levis. They'll take Hooker.
I'll let you do your sell
pick is
on
in.
Richardson. And I think you're going to say this, but so you have Philly's offensive coordinator going to the Colts as their head coach.
That's why they took him.
And I think that your argument might be that they can replicate some of the same things.
Jalen throws way better than him.
Go ahead,
So,
DF.
okay, here's my thing with Anthony Richardson, because I thought, I really did, and I said this in the voicemail, I thought the Carolina
Picks him,
Panthers,
by the way.
Yep.
I thought the Carolina Panthers really could swing at Anthony Richardson at 1, just because to me, he's the closest thing. Let me finish. I see your face. He's the closest thing to a Cam Newton clone that we've seen. Size-wise, athleticism-wise, and big arm. Now, Blake, yes, he's not a finished product right now, but here's the thing, too. You got to picture it like this as well. Fit matters. He went to the Indianapolis Colts, like you said, the offensive coordinator going there to be the head coach. They got a good offensive line already. They have an established run game with Jonathan Taylor. Now you have a guy like Michael Pittman who could be an elite really good number 1 receiver. They just drafted the kid last year out of Cincinnati, Alec Pierce. he's got weapons to throw to, and they're going to give him time. Gardner Minshew could be probably is going to be the starting quarterback there for a while.
If they're smart, I bet he will be, yeah.
He has all the tools, and I understand where you're coming from, because my biggest problem with Will Levis is people fall in love with a couple highlights, and they overdraft like crazy. Anthony Richardson, I don't think is that guy, because I've seen – just the ability to do it consistently, but he didn't have the help. If you turn on the tape, there was a lot of plays.
I mean, did Lamar have help at Louisville?
No, he didn't.
No, and he won a Heisman. This guy, here's my thing about Anthony Richardson, okay?
Wait. Let Titans pick, and then you can give your thing about Anthony
I already
Richardson.
know who they picked.
Do you?
Well, quit
Yep.
cheating.
It's on PFF's early.
Don't spoil it.
And the Tennessee Titans, Goodell, quit yapping.
Come on, Hendon Hooker.
Will
Will
Levis.
Levis.
Really?
What a terrible pick.
Will Levis.
Wow.
No, here's the thing, though. This is value
This sucks
because
as a
now
Treylon Burks dynasty
you
owner.
spent a second-round pick on this guy. So now you don't have to say he's the quarterback of your future.
No, but this is essentially the first pick in the second round. This
So
is 33.
Here we go. Will Levis, obviously Kentucky, 23 years old to 6'4", 229 pounds, didn't run the 40. I said he fought to keep his head above water week in and week out against SEC competition. He'll be battle-tested for the NFL. Levis played through turf toe for much of the 2022 season, but earned a 90.6 overall grade when healthy under former Rams offensive coordinator Liam Cohen in 2021. So, I don't think necessarily – I know quarterback to me isn't the issue for the Titans. I think Tannehill's not great, but he's serviceable. I think letting A.J. Brown go – you let A.J. Brown go, then you brought in a receiver who – and it's not – I guess it's not his fault, but didn't he have health problems?
Asthma.
Something? Like he
That
didn't
was
play
all it
last year,
was.
right?
Well, he was injured. He had, like, foot issues and
Yeah,
things.
so you traded A.J. Brown and drafted this guy to be the A.J. Brown replacement, and he didn't play. They didn't have nobody on the outside. So I don't think quarterback was the biggest need for the Titans.
You want a hot take?
Yeah.
Malik Willis is better than Will Levis.
That is a hot take. Now, I'm not going
Because
to –
he's not very good at all.
I'm not going to
Exactly.
argue as
That's
much
my point.
because
Yeah.
I said on this show like a month ago that I thought Will Levis would get somebody fired, but that's back when I thought he'd go in the first round. You take him in the second round, you take all the pressure
Yeah.
off. So now early second round can be looked at as like an extended first, but he's not a top 10 pick. You're not forced to play him right away, and you're not banking your future on him. If this guy doesn't pan out, you didn't give him a ton of money, you can move on from this guy quick if he doesn't pan out. So back
Sit
to
behind Tannehill.
Yeah.
I see Paxton Lynch all over Will Levis.
So
No, I'm not joking either. I don't mean that as like to be controversial. I'm dead serious. That's who I see when I see Will Levis.
back to Richardson. Andrew Jackson says Richardson is a poor man's Jamarcus Russell. He said he couldn't beat out Emory Jones. Here's my deal. Maybe people who watch more college football than I do knew who Anthony Richardson was throughout the season. But typically, if you're going to be like a top 5 draft pick, even if you don't pay a ton of attention to the college game, you know who these guys are. Okay? Nobody was talking about Anthony Richardson until he declared for the draft.
I saw mock drafts
and
all
the
college
reaction-
season long where he was a first rounder.
And the reaction was, what is this guy doing? Why is he got some bad advice. Initially, when he said he was committing, people were like, this guy's like a second, third rounder. Who's telling this guy to come out of college? But he's athletic.
Had a great combine. Like,
You know who
off
else
the
did-
chart. I know.
The guy in New York,
Who are you talking about?
Wow.
Zach Wilson.
Wow.
Oh, they took
Bro, we're going to get to the Titans once I'm done ragging you on Richardson.
Dude. Wow. They
the
passed
Lions
on
just
Michael
took Sam
Mayer.
Laporta.
The Lions passed on Michael Mayer to take him.
This is just another Lions pick that I just kind of
Wow.
am surprised by.
I've
I'm
heard
kinda
good
confused
things about
by.
Sam Laporta. I am surprised that he went ahead of Michael Mayer,
Yeah.
but
That's shocking.
there's just
to me.
certain
Or
things
Darnell
about Michael-
Washington.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
Washington,
agree with you.
yeah, he's not as much of a receiver though, like receiving threat. He's a good blocker.
You know what it is? Iowa tight ends. T.J. Hawkinson. Now this kid. They love that style.
yeah.
I guess we'll talk about the Lions since they just had their pick.
Yeah.
What are they doing, man?
Okay.
And
that's good,
everybody
yeah.
on this show knows I love the Lions because they made me look very, very smart last year.
Go
Okay, I
ahead.
haven't let the world forget it.
Nope.
But man, wasn't the reason that like they didn't win more games last year because their defense was like awful?
Correct.
So then why did they pick a running back in round 1? A running back that probably would still be on the board
So they said too. I read.
or close.
Late first.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's smoke or not, but I read that they were willing to take him at 6. Which,
Oh my
so- and to me, I'm like, you brought in David Montgomery, you have DeAndre Swift, and Swift. We've talked about it. Swift can't. I think he's almost a liability. You know what I mean? When he's healthy, he's nice, but so and then you draft this kid. I don't know
Vic
if
has been
Swift's even
traded.
on the team. Here.
Raiders on the
Trade
clock.
back to the Raiders.
Oh, wow.
Look at this. We got, hey, this is
Lot of
already
action.
more interesting.
I
lot
will
of
say
action.
that there were a lot of, like, even last night, though, there was a lot of
There was a
trading
lot of
around.
trades.
Even if it was
Yes.
just like up a spot or down a spot. I mean, teams were moving. I mean, nobody really stuck at their spot.
Andrew Barry, what are you doing? Come on.
He's getting ready to trade back, too.
Some
Oh,
info on
stop.
Laporta. Iowa, 22, 6'3", 245 pounds, around 4'5'9". That's moving at that size.
For a big guy.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Outstanding with the ball in his hands. He can not only run away from defenders, but he can also make them miss. He had 20 broken tackles on 58 catches in 2022. So that's just, that's another weapon. I mean, their offense was high-powered last year. It was
Yeah.
Jared Goff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just crazy to, like, I just didn't think offense is what they needed. I guess, like, you can never have too many pieces or whatever, but, man, their defense was bad last year.
Well, even when they picked defense, a guy we were talking about
Yes.
for the Cleveland Browns possibly trading up mid to late second round if he's still there, Jack Campbell. I think he's a great player. I mean, he's athletic. He's an old school thumper. He seems like a Dan Campbell guy. But to take him at 18,
Yeah.
my goodness. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, don't get me wrong, he is talented enough to be that pick, but given the position he plays, he shouldn't have been that pick.
Well, they were pumped to get him, too. I don't know if I saw a reaction video from their draft room when they, like, you would have thought they just drafted Andrew Luck. You know what I mean? Like, they were celebrating like they just won the Super Bowl for this guy.
When didn't they have the opportunity to take Bijan Robinson?
Yeah.
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 So-
he went at 8 to Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Hey, real quick, Blake, I think one thing we forgot to mention at the top of the show is we are doing the homage T-shirt giveaway tonight. So everybody who's already entered by retweeting the pin tweet at the top of our page, if you've joined the YouTube Dog Pack or the Patreon Dog Pack, you are entered already. We did get one more person so far during this live chat to jump into the YouTube Dog Pack. But if you want entries into that contest, we're going to be giving out or announcing winners. What do we say, like 7:45, 8:45, 9:45-ish?
Yeah, we're going to be giving
Towards
out
the end
stuff
of
all
each
night.
hour. So coming up here real soon, here in about 15, 20 minutes, we're going to announce our first winners or first winner of that contest. So if you haven't entered or if you want more entries, there are other ways to get in. So get in now and you got a chance to win all 4 times. And the grand prize is a package of 2 homage shirts of your choice and a hoodie of your choice.
Yeah, for real. If you have these shirts are sweet.
Yes.
Homage
Yeah.
has some very nice
stuff.
Cleveland
I've been
gear.
repping.
I love Justin's
I've
Cleveland
been repping
shirt.
them for probably like 4 or 5 years at least. I would say like 95% of my wardrobe is just Cleveland stuff because I don't have any style, and I just love Cleveland. And so yeah, I mean they got great stuff. They're awesome.
So, and we're also doing the other contests.
Yep.
For we're giving away the Brownie the podcaster shirts
Yes.
from our merch store.
The first 4 winners will be announced tonight as well.
Yep. So, and that contest is still live.
Yeah, that's live all year, the rest of the year. So
The rest of the year. So
get
we're gonna
in
be-
now and you got a chance to win every month of the year.
What do they have to do to get into that?
Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star rating on Spotify, or subscribe on YouTube. And then you just got to take a screenshot of any of those actions and just send it to us.
Yeah. What's the email?
Email is bark, BARK, at thedogspodcast.com, or go to thedogspodcast.com/win, WIN, and all the
Oh,
info is right there.
Mayer.
There's an
Okay.
upload file. Michael Mayer just got drafted by
Okay.
the Raiders.
Replace Darren Waller with Michael
That
Mayer.
means I can
That's
go ahead and drop OJ
Especially-
Howard from my dynasty
For
team.
sure, yes. Yep.
Especially if he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Because that was Darren
You guys
Waller's
surprised-
problem. He couldn't stay healthy.
That
That's
they
a
didn't
great
take
pick.
Hooker there?
Hey, we
Oh,
went
I mean-
Zap Razdauer?
Razdauer. Got to give him a shout out. Dog
Appreciate
Pack
you,
Elite
man.
member.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you so much for joining.
You are in the contest. You made it in.
Yes, make sure you
Nice.
hang out with us all night. See if you guys win some merch. So
What a great pick.
I was very the
I like
Lions.
Michael Mayer a lot.
The Lions were a team that surprised me last night. Were there any teams that you thought killed it outside the
Yeah.
Texans?
Yes.
Okay, what do you got?
Fly,
Philly.
Eagles, fly, baby.
Yes, Philly.
I mean,
Philly.
to get possibly the best player in the draft in Jalen Carter, where they did, and then turn around and steal Nolan Smith
Yes.
at the end of the draft. And they still had great players on the board. I mean, they could have went with Jalen Carter and Brian Branch. They could have added, whatever they wanted, essentially. There was still so much talent on the board, and they got Nolan Smith. So now looking at that defensive line, you lose Javon Hargrave, who we wanted.
Yes.
But you replace him with this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what a plan B.
Young, hungry, just
Yeah.
guys that are going to just disrupt. It's crazy. That was up there for me. And Jalen Carter, a lot of people thought he was the best player in the draft.
Yeah. Well, he was until he
know,
had the
yeah,
situation.
yeah,
Which,
yeah.
What is he still in legal trouble? By the way,
I
Jalen
think
Carter?
he's fine.
I think he's settled
Yeah.
and every. I mean, he's probably. I don't know the exact stuff, but I
I mean,
know,
he was drunk driving, right?
and racing.
And somebody died.
2 people died.
So I'm not trying to bring down the mood here, but how is nobody freaking out that this guy's drafted in the first round?
So I saw that. I think they even mentioned it on ESPN that teams that were above, Philly going into that pick took him off the board. Just
Well, so I don't
flat
want to hear
out.
any more crap about the Browns selling their morals.
Right.
Yeah.
There's literally dead people out there. I mean, this is almost like having what's his name on your team, dude from Oakland. Or not
Oh,
Oakland,
Henry
Vegas.
Ruggs?
Yeah, it'd be like signing Henry Ruggs.
Yeah.
What's the difference? We just made this guy a millionaire. But
Yeah.
and the only thing people are talking about is how they're winning the draft because they got this guy where they got him.
Yeah.
There's dead
Yeah.
people. I'm not trying to bring down the mood.
You're bringing it
but
down.
I'm just getting
You're
pissed
just telling it
thinking
how it
about
is.
how the Browns have just been crapped on for the last year for selling their morals.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this dude was, I think, drunk. I'm pretty sure it's something like that in racing, and people
Yep.
died, and he just
Yep.
became a millionaire last night.
Hours after the game.
That's crazy to me.
It is.
I mean, I'm not shocked by the Cleveland narrative. Like, I've been saying Cleveland against the world for my entire life.
Yeah, I've had
You
a
know.
Cleveland. I think I had an Ohio against the world shirt when I was a youngster. So, any other teams hit it out of the park?
Well, I don't know, but we do have a comment here I think we need to address because Miguel asks a very important question that's highlighted in green on our feed that I think
And
we
you
got
just
to talk
sent
about.
$5.
Yeah,
hey, man.
we
Hey,
absolutely appreciate
yeah.
that. So I think we will address your question real quick.
Yes.
Do you guys think that we have any interest in trading for DeAndre Hopkins tonight? Go Browns.
God, I hope.
Yeah.
I really hope so, because, man, that'd
in
make
terms-
my night.
I just want a splash.
Yeah.
This draft night. Give me a splash. Where's Sonny Weaver?
Yeah.
Well, and it'd be nice to look at Aaron Butler and say, "Ha!" I know he's
You
not in
missed
he's not
once.
in the chat, or at least he hasn't chimed
Not
in
yet.
yet. But
He said he was going to be here, so I'm a little bit
he
disappointed.
doesn't have his
Hashtag
badge
AB.
yet, so I won't respond to him.
Here, so my thing with if you go and you get Hopkins, which yesterday their GM said he's going to be on the team probably, but you always have to say
And if
that.
you're the Cardinals, why would you?
Right. You have a lot of holes.
A
if you're the
lot. And I don't know if Kyler's the guy there.
And he might not play at all this year.
Yeah.
By the time he's healthy enough to play, they might be so far out of it that there's no point in letting him take the field at all.
Every time I think about, people are like, I think we're pretty good on offense. I just think, why not just completely just overload the offense? I watched that Chiefs-Buffalo game, that playoff game a few years back, and defense in that game, those were good defenses, and it didn't matter.
What about the Super Bowl this year? Philly
Yeah.
had the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yep. So to me, go get as many weapons and a guy that has chemistry with Watson, a lot of chemistry.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I guess the biggest problem here is people are saying the money that he's owed. I think if you were to trade, it would be one of those things where the Cardinals would be picking up some of that money, or there's like a restructure or something like that. Like, we're not going to give him $30 million.
No.
You know what I mean? It's going to have to be restructured, so we're giving him way less than that.
And I don't think he
Gage
wants
says
to
D-Hop
restructure.
said he is willing to work out his contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he wasn't even willing to, he doesn't want new money.
Yeah.
Before we keep going to this, we got the Rams pick coming in now.
Oh.
And they took the guard out of TCU. Steve
Okay.
Avila.
Yeah, I know that name. In the one mock draft I did this year.
Nice. Hey.
Hey, the Los Angeles Rams need offensive line help in the worst way. So
They kind of need everything.
yeah, but I mean, it starts at the line because Stafford will not play after this year if he gets hurt again. They got to protect him. How do you protect him without a run game to protect him? Well, you need an offensive line to.
The way the season ended last year, I'm not even sure what you have in Stafford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I like Matthew Stafford a lot, and I think he's a good player. I'm just not sure.
I think he was more injured last year than we thought.
Oh.
Yeah, he had neck stuff going on. Like,
Just some information
Wow.
on Avila.
Go
Played
ahead.
guard at TCU. He was a senior, so he was there for 4 years. 23 and a half years old, 6'3", 332 pounds, ran a 5.21. Bro, that's moving at 332,
boy.
Yeah.
332 pounds. Avila started at both center and guard over the course of his career, so there's a little bit of versatility there for the Rams. He provides a physical presence regardless of where he's at. He's allowed only 11 pressures on 540 pass blocking snaps in 2022 for an 83.6 blocking grade. So, pretty good.
Yep.
Seahawks pick is in now.
This pick should 100% be Hendon Hooker. 100%.
We've got a.
I already know who it is, and I'll give you a hint.
Not.
It's not.
oh,
Well, here,
okay.
real quick, we got a question from Fatal Gnome. What's the chance we scoop Swift and Hopkins in trades?
I kind of threw it out there in our group text today. You
Do we
know, and
want
you guys are
Swift?
making dude.
So,
For as little
Liability.
as he would honestly be needed on the field,
who?
DeAndre Swift.
That's what I said. I said he's nice. I think I think when healthy, very good back.
Yes, yeah.
But I just don't know if like that is so far below need for the Browns in my opinion. Like,
It's fair.
What would you? I think Jerome Ford like it's his time.
Yeah, I'm okay
I like
with
You know
Jerome
that.
what I
Ford,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. It's one of those things where it'd be a splash and
that's
it'd
a
be
good
fun.
pick.
It's
Good
not Hendon
pick.
Hooker.
Good
Are
pick.
you flip flopping?
No, I mean, it should have been Hendon Hooker if it were me, but I still think that is a good pick.
Derek
I really
Hall?
do. Quickly, though, on the point on the running backs, I talked about this when we were talking about the prospects video. For the Browns specifically, I don't think we need Swift because there's a couple guys in this draft at running back, and I'm going to reiterate it because I said it in that video, but how we looked at Chubb and Hunt, like in the good years of Kareem Hunt, as 1A and 1B, I think you now have to flip that and look at Jerome Ford and the next guy as the 1A and 1B at 2. And I think there's plenty of guys in this draft that the Browns could grab late, given the position of running back, that can come in and supplement, from Jerome Ford and be really, really good. It's just a matter of what style of player do they want. Evans could come in and be like, he's compared to like Melvin Gordon. And then you got guys like Deuce Vaughn, who's just running all over the place, catching balls, just shifty. Like, there's so many different options.
It's a very deep running back class. So,
Yeah.
that's the luxury there. I mean, and I don't know if I was talking to you or who I was talking to, Derek, but we talked about there's some UDFA potential here, too,
Yeah.
where there's some really, high potential running backs that just aren't even going to get drafted this year because, teams just don't need that many of them.
I wanna get to the Seahawks pick real quick before we come back to this. So Derek Hall, edge rusher out of Auburn, 22 years old, 6'3", 254 pounds, ran a 4.55. Says Hall is built like a Greek god. That's funny, so am I. And he has reps that make him look like one too. We just haven't seen him develop a
make me
full
choke.
array of pass rushing moves just yet. As his pass rushing rate plateaued after his sophomore year in 2020. He had, in his 3 years of playing, 81.9, 82.1, and 82.6. I think the Seahawks are having a really good draft so far. And
Another
it's
one.
going to be tough to pat last year's draft. This is what drafting well can do for you, by the way. We thought the Seahawks were going to be terrible last year, and they drafted so well. They made the playoffs on the back of that draft. They got 2 starting offensive linemen, a corner that took the league by storm. And it doesn't hurt that they somehow found a diamond in the rough with old Geno Smith.
I loved their draft last night. I loved it.
Seahawks following the Andrew Berry status of the secondary. 3 corners. Tariq
Yeah.
Woolen,
They got a stud.
Witherspoon,
Oh, my
Kobe
God.
Bryant.
Hey, we got a comment here from a question from Camban Music. What position or player constitutes moving up, in our opinion? For him, he thinks it's linebacker. Derek, what do you think? Because I know you've kind of talked about this a lot lately.
I definitely think linebacker, especially given the run on receivers, there's not like one of those top guys who's still in the second round. So I think receiver, you can still sit about where you're at. For me personally, and I don't even want to say his name because I feel like as soon as I do, he's going to be picked. But I talked about him a lot. Trenton Simpson. The dude flies around. He's awesome. And to me, you get him opposite of JOK, you got two dynamic outside linebackers that can just wreak havoc with Walker in the middle. And, you can kind of put a Band-Aid and some duct tape over the middle linebacker spot and just have two great guys on the outside.
Matthew Bergeron, Falcons pick, offensive tackle. I guess you got to have a good offensive line. You just picked Bijan.
That's right. Yep.
So I wanted to talk about this. Not that I'm just glancing over these picks, but I know we're a Browns podcast and people want to hear about our Browns takes. I said before we went live, I didn't know if this was a year to draft a running back because you kind of consider the age of running backs where they start to fall off is 30. So you got Chubb for, hopefully 3 more good seasons, and then you got Ford behind him. So this if you draft a running back this year, then you get playing time for 4 years, and what, you got him for 2 years? Depending on who you pick. So I just didn't know if running back was – I don't know if I'd take a running back this year. And if I did, it'd be very late. Now, what I wanted to pose this question to you, is Nick Chubb going to be a running back that you think falls off at 30? Because there's no way Nick Chubb only has 3 more good years left.
No.
There's no way. I think we've preserved his career enough. He hasn't gotten – we haven't pummeled him with touches. We didn't give him the Zeke Elliott treatment. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh,
And so –
I know who this pick should be. If they were smart. Josh Downs. Get a receiver.
Get a little receiver for your little quarterback.
He's fast. He's shifty.
There's not very many big ones left, so.
So what do you guys think? Do we only got 3 more years in Nick Chubb?
No, we have more than that.
Yeah, I think we have more.
His workload's been managed
I'm
his
very
entire
curious
career.
to hear Josh, because Josh is very much like a firm 30.
Yes.
Nick Chubb is I am in general when I'm doing a general rule of thumb for running backs. Obviously, you got to take everybody case by case. Derrick Henry, is going to be. Is he 30 now or is he turning 30 this year? Either way,
he's close.
Either way,
Yeah.
he's 30. So, but I still think he's got a good year ahead of him this year and probably another good one next year before he starts to maybe slow down a little bit.
Nobody wants him. He's available.
Yeah. So, there are guys that, are the exception of the rule. There are guys like Todd Gurley who don't even make it to 25. So, it's not a hard and fast rule. I do think Nick Chubb's definitely got 2-3 really elite years left. It's just a matter of how a guy's body breaks down when he starts to get older, toward 30. And you're right. We have preserved his career. I mean, I just think that running back depth is too important to just say, oh, well, we got Nick Chubb, we're good. Yeah, we are good, but if anything happens to him, we're not good. We got to make sure we're okay if that happens. And we've been okay the last few years with Dearness Johnson and Kareem Hunt and these guys, Jerome Ford last year. We were deep last year. We need to get deep again just because it's like the most injured position in football.
Yeah.
So
besides corner.
I want to address. We got Miguel. I don't want to butcher this. Moran Villarreal. Hopefully it's not
Junior.
Junior. I don't know if he just became a member.
No, he's been a member.
He's been a member. We appreciate the $10, man. You guys don't have to throw money at us. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to, but you don't have to.
Yeah, that's Miguel. That's your second donation tonight, man. Stop. You're cut off.
But
I appreciate you, man.
we
That's awesome,
appreciate
brother.
that.
Thank you.
You got Miguel donating, and then people won't even join the membership for $1. What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, Miguel just paid for a year's worth of dog pack membership. He wants to know how much you guys think it will take to get Chase Young if we don't get DeAndre Hopkins. I heard Chase Young, they want 2 firsts.
And Montez Sweat is also, Sweat is
I
also
saw that.
available
Yep.
apparently.
Do you have a preference?
No.
I mean,
Whichever one's cheaper, honestly. I would take either one on the opposite
You know what's
side.
crazy is I think Young
He hasn't played
might
a whole
be
lot.
the cheaper one. Sweat's been a stud.
I really like Chase Young and think he could be, but it's just the injury history is
Yes.
starting to pile up a little bit.
Yep.
I don't want to give away a bunch and then he plays 4 games.
Correct.
And he's had help on that defensive line, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
The
That's
front
a
seven
knock
has been
against
crazy.
him. Yeah.
So could you imagine though Miles and Chase opposite each other, where then you got Tomlinson in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
If Perrion can keep his head straight, he started to come on late last year.
What about 00?
The guy we just
Yeah.
signed from.
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden that guy becomes a rotational piece. Yeah. You're bringing him in fresh legs instead of, some practice squad guy. So in terms of what it would take, the Commanders are saying 2 firsts. I don't know if anybody's given that up for him based on his injury history.
No.
He hasn't played like a guy who's worth 2 firsts.
No, I could see 1 first maybe.
I can see a first and a second.
Or a first in a maybe like
player.
an okay player,
Yeah.
something along those terms. So that's what I'm thinking. Fatal Gnome, thank you for the $5. Also, thank you for being a Patreon member, and thank you for being a Dog Pack member
Yep,
and
and
being
leaving
in
us
the
voicemails
Discord.
and
Yes.
doing everything, man.
Thanks for being
Appreciate
alive. No, he wants to know, do we include Anthony Schwartz in a trade? Would anybody even want him?
So I actually did. I wrote an article for Dog Pound Daily on this, and you guys have got to understand that one. Yeah, I think that if Anthony Schwartz being included in a trade gets the deal done, hell yeah, we're trading Anthony Schwartz. He's worthless to us.
Long shot to
he
even make
provides,
the roster.
yeah,
I
exactly.
don't
He
even know if
provides
he makes
no
the
value offensively, special teams, nothing. But you got to remember how big of an ego NFL coaches have, and I guarantee you there are NFL coaches looking at a guy like Anthony Schwartz saying, "Well, I could get something out of that speed."
Lil Fred, I see your comment. We're going to throw it up to Derek here after the Panthers pick. I think it's a good question.
I think
Panthers
we know
pick
what
is
this
in.
is.
I already know who it is.
Yeah.
I don't like the silence here.
There it is.
Jonathan Mingo. So
There
they
it
took the
is.
big guy. They took the big receiver. Really, one of the only big receivers in this class.
So,
There he goes.
so getting their young quarterback some help.
Yeah.
You know, they just traded DJ Moore, right? Or
Yep.
was that late last year? Or was that in the
No, that
offseason?
was
It all got
offseason.
blended.
That was
Go
to
to
get up
first.
to
Yeah.
to
one.
get up to one. Okay, so bring
This
him
could
in
be a
some help.
sneaky good pick for them.
It's a great pick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really good wide receivers on the board. There was talks. I mean, you brought it up. Like right after I talked about Jonathan Mingo, all of a sudden people are talking about him going in the second, and it's
I
because
saw first round mocks with him in it.
yeah, and it's because of stuff like this. You look at A.J. Brown, you look at DK Metcalf, and guys that size out of the same school, by the way.
These
And-
big physical guys are.
And the thing that one of the things that I keep looking at now when I'm doing these wide receiver evals is that contested catch rate because
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was.
Oh my God.
I mean, like,
that was
was a
nice.
knock.
That was real nice.
I've heard a
nice.
big knock against Quentin Johnston, who went in the first round last
Yeah.
night to the Chargers, where, yeah, he's a big-bodied receiver, but he's not a contested catch guy. He doesn't come down with the 50-50 balls. Mingo does.
That was silly.
I like Jonathan Mingo, man.
This concerns me for Marvin Mims now. I mean, Jalen Hyatt's still on the board, Downs still on the board. There's good receivers left, but if the Browns want a receiver, and I've heard that Mims is a guy they love, and if they love him,
They might have to move
they
up.
might have to move up.
So I want to keep talking about Schwartz real quick. People are saying I don't know if we can give him away. Here, I will say this. Obviously, we all know how we feel about Schwartz, okay? But football coaches have egos, and a football coach can look at this guy and he's got his Olympic world-class speed or whatever and go, I can do something with that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying we're not getting anything of real value for
No,
him.
he's a throw-in.
He's
He's a
icing
deal
on the
sweetener.
cake,
Yeah,
yes.
he's a sweetener on a deal that gets it done. That's
So would a team take him? I'm not saying every team in the league would take him, and I'm not saying people are seeking him. But I think if they're like, if they're on the fence, they're like, well, we can throw this guy in on top. And it depends on what kind of, like, a team like the Chiefs would take Schwartz.
I was just
The
about
people
to
You know
love
what I
speed.
mean?
People love speed.
That kind of thing. So,
I actually who did I list? I forget. I know I mentioned the Chiefs. I mentioned the Bills potentially
Yeah.
needing a downfield speed, and the
Colts?
Lions because Jameson Williams is now out for the first 6 games, and they still don't really know what they have in him.
Yep.
So if you're taking a swing on a guy just as a throw-in, I mean,
You
teams
can't
would
coach
definitely
speed.
take him because you know what? If they don't like him either, they'll just cut him.
Yep.
But
the
they'd
Colts
rather take
just-
the shot.
The Colts just lost Paris Campbell. I know Anthony Schwartz
Yeah.
isn't necessarily a slot guy, but they could look at that speed and say,
But you got to get him the ball around the line of scrimmage, otherwise he's
Yeah.
not coming down with it. So
So then
I'd rather have Blake playing receiver than Anthony Schwartz.
I got hands, man. I got hands.
I know.
Now, I'm not going to get much separation, but my contested catch rate's very high.
Probably very high.
big body box.
Big
Get
hands,
that.
yeah.
I got hands. Saints pick is in before they announce because it'll take Roger forever to get out there. Lil Fred asked on here, who are the good productive linebackers we should really look at grabbing? It's our biggest position of need. So I'm throwing this up to you. I know you got a
Soon as I
mouthful
take
of
a
meat.
bite.
What do you think? Who
Okay.
should we be targeting, linebacker wise?
All right, let me swallow right quick.
Yeah, you do that.
swallow that Omaha Steaks. Guys,
Sales
seriously,
are
while
going
while
through
he's chewing and swallowing his lovely meat, go to omahasteaks.com and use that promo code DAWGS DAWGS and get $20 off, free
You
shipping.
can't make me laugh like that.
No, for real.
Seriously,
though.
this new Burger Perfection flight package that they
it's-
just came out with. I mean, it's 5 different cuts of steak made into their new steak burgers.
It's delicious.
And you get 4 of every one. Like, it's amazing. You get 20 burgers. They're so good.
So we got the pick coming in here. We're going to get to Derek's thoughts on linebackers as soon as this pick comes in. We're going to be picking our first winner here probably in like the next 5 minutes or so. So you got about 5 minutes to get in some entries.
Yeah.
Become a dog pack.
$10 from Fatal Gnome says, swallow that meat. Thank you, Derek.
Jeez.
If you want to win an homage T-shirt, make sure you enter the contest. You got about 5 minutes before we pick our first winner. So do that.
I'm looking at not on steroids John Nye right now. He is in the building.
We're gonna
He's
need to
getting ready to get over
He's looking swole though.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get him to hair and makeup because he's looking a little rough.
Looking like he just walked out of work.
Yeah.
And walk through a rainstorm, which, by the way, it's pouring down
It's
there.
pouring
Yeah.
down rain. So they announced the pick, right?
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
Isaiah Foskey. Here we go. I got some
okay.
information coming in. Edge rusher out of Notre
Devontae
Dame,
Line.
22 years old, 6'5", 264 pounds. He ran a 4.58. Foskey is one of the better pocket collapsers in the draft class. He used his 34-inch arms to corral quarterbacks 23 times over the past 2 seasons. I'm supposed to call out Truth Senpai. This is him with all the picks.
Nice.
So it wasn't Pastor Rob. I don't know why it's just coming through for him. But again, like I said, we got we have a guy in Scotland who is feeding us information
That's
right now,
crazy.
That's pretty awesome.
and like working the Discord servers for us right now.
awesome.
We got producer Kyle over here sitting in the
Yes.
dark corner,
Shout out
just
Kyle.
Yeah, shout out
slaving away.
Kyle.
So we got to
PK
shout out
in the
producer
house.
Kyle. We got Derek all the way here from Columbus. We got Kenny Mack up
Kenny
here
Scott.
in our Facebook messages from Canada. This is global. You guys have helped us take this global, so we really appreciate that. It brings a tear to my eye. So linebackers.
Yep. Linebackers. So I did some homework on a list of guys that I think would fit the Browns. So Trenton Simpson, name I've talked about a lot. I think the Browns are definitely going to have to trade up to get him. I just talked about him. Uber athletic, fast, flies to the ball. Owen Pepo, for me, makes a lot of sense. I've seen him mocked to the Browns in a few mock drafts. He's a guy that could go between the 4th and 5th round. And I think, if the Browns have their eyes on a receiver or a defensive tackle they like falls, and they can't pick linebacker, and if he slips, prime spot for the Browns to take him. He's going to be fun. If the Browns end up getting him, he's going to be fun. And then another guy, Dorian Williams, who's currently projected to go in the 3rd round. Thumper. I feel
like that's what the Browns need. We got our speed. Like, JOK is the speed guy. And honestly, the Browns can use Delpit as like an in-the-box safety for that. We need a guy that's not going to get pushed around. You know what I mean? So I like that.
Can I interest you in Panay Sewell's brother?
No. Not just
It's funny because his name is Noah Sewell, who's a linebacker from Oregon. He was actually projected before this season to go way, way higher than he will go. He's 6'1.5", 246 pounds, big dude. He's gotten better. His problem was consistency, which as the season went on, he got more consistent.
Barry Shuck talked about him.
Yeah.
when we had him on, a couple months ago talking about some of this stuff for the draft coming up.
Yeah, he's a very good player. For me, it's just what do the Browns want? Because if they want a middle linebacker, I'm looking at Dorian Williams, Noah Sewell. If they want an outside guy, Trenton Simpson, Owen Pepo. Ivan Pace Jr. from Cincinnati is a name that's been thrown out there a lot. And then there's a kid from TCU, D. Winters, who's one of these crazy athletes. He flies around, and he's kind of projected to go pretty late. So I wouldn't be surprised if, we got later on in the draft and, he continued to slip if Andrew Berry, picked him. There's just a lot of athleticism at linebacker. It's a deep linebacker
with
class.
the Ravens re-signing Lamar Jackson, which we haven't even got into yet. We're going to get into that.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to dive into that.
You got to have athleticism. You know what I mean? So, well, I think it's time. First of all, before we announce this first winner for homage, I just want to say Andrew Jackson just mentioned the Discord's popping off.
Popping.
So I just want to, again, I'm not trying to just like spend the whole night promoting ourselves, but if you like us and you like hanging out with us, for these lives and stuff like that, this Discord, join this dog pack. You get access to this Discord, and at first it might be like because it's cool to talk to us when we're not on a show, but all these people in this Discord have they've all become friends from all over the world. Last night during the draft, I was taking care of my child and doing things not even getting to watch, and they're in the voice chat in the Discord, all of them just hanging out all across the country. So if you're into that kind of thing and you just want to talk to Browns fans and just meet cool people from all across the earth, just check it out. It's definitely sweet.
Let me say this, too, on Discord. A lot of people don't know what Discord is. And, I mean, we talked about it. You know, you guys got to meet some of my friends.
Yep.
A lot of them, we talk daily on Discord, and we live all different places. It is super easy to use. It's not complicated. So if you want to just say, hey, I'm in a Browns mood, I want to talk about some Cleveland Browns football, all you got to do is go in at everybody, and whoever wants to join and talk some Browns football, it's like that.
It's literally, so before we make this pick real quick, I know I said we're going to do it. I'm just, really, we have a Browns thread, fantasy football, a podcast thread, a draft night thread. There's literally a grilling thread, a gambling thread, a cars thread, a high school football thread. There's literally, people are in here talking about literally anything and everything. It's just an awesome place. It's basically like an internet bar. It's pretty awesome. So if that's what you're interested in, jointhedogs.com to become a Dog Pack member.
That's
BJ
right
Ojulari off
That's a
the
good
board.
pick.
That is a good pick for the Cardinals.
Very
Yep.
good pick.
They're going to need it.
Yeah.
So
They need a lot of good players.
So I think we're going to pick our first homage winner now. Josh has got – so basically all the entries up to this point so far, Josh has dropped all of your names into a random name generator on his computer. So it's completely random. We have no idea who's about to win. If you don't win this time, your name will be back in the random generator for the next pick. We're going to announce this winner. Then we're going to take a quick 5-minute break so we can get John set up and get our bearings as we continue to progress through this second round.
Yeah, we'll talk about Ojulari after we get back, and then we'll dive into the Lamar Jackson.
And don't go
conversation.
anywhere. I see we're up to the most viewers like we've ever had at one point. Let's keep this energy. I promise we'll be back in 5 minutes.
It's a fun commercial, too, guys. Just stay tuned.
Yeah.
It's not boring stuff. Okay. You ready for the first
Yes.
winner? Randomize. Fatal Gnome.
Hey, okay.
All right.
So that
You deserve
again,
it, all the money.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
So
Practically paid for it. at
yeah,
this point.
congratulations to Fatal Gnome. You are the first winner of the first drawing of the homage T-shirt tonight. We'll be getting a hold of you. We got your contact information. We'll get you set up with the shirt. We'll get it delivered to you ASAP. Again, thank you so much for everything you do to help support this show. Are we also going to pick one of our other winners?
Oh, I suppose we could do that.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
if you guys weren't here when we talked about it, so this is for a Brownie the Podcaster Elf, Brownie the Podcaster Elf T-shirt off our merch store, the Dogs Podcast. So actually, I have to get a whole new random name generator.
Oh, I surprised Josh. That's how you know this is completely authentic. He's not
Yes.
ready.
Yeah.
I just sprung it on him. He's got to throw your guys' names
I'm
in
literally
the,
looking
the
at the
name
screen. There's
generator.
100,000 tabs open. He's panicking.
I know.
Right?
Which one is it?
Inside,
Which one is it?
he's
Okay.
freaking out.
Next
I'm ready.
contest winner gets to wrestle Blake for an Omaha steak burger.
I'm not the man I used to be. You can have the burger.
I think you
right.
get him in the,
So
get him
this
in
is
the
for
one
the
leg.
this is for our merch. This is for the Brownie the Podcaster Elf T-shirt. It's a pretty awesome T-shirt.
This
in
is
my
if you're
opinion.
doing a 5-star review on Apple, 5-star rating on Spotify, or subscribing on YouTube. You get entered into this contest for the year. We're just doing the first 4 months winners tonight. So the first winner, I guess this would be for January, is going to be Andy Kaiser. He was just Dog Pack Member of the
Yeah, I was
Month.
gonna say.
So,
All right.
Again, we appreciate you guys being here. The Packers pick just went in, Luke Musgrave. We're going to get into, we'll cover Ujulari. We'll cover Musgrave. This is just going to be a quick 5-minute commercial. Let us get John set up. Let us grab a quick shot of water or something. We'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
We good to get up.
Hey, everybody. Just want to thank you all once again for joining us tonight on our live coverage of Day 2 of the 2023 NFL Draft, presented, of course, by Omaha Steaks. Guys, Mother's Day is right around the corner. As soon as the draft is over this weekend, it's going to be May. And in May is Mother's Day. You're going to be having family over. You're going to be having a get-together. You're going to be cooking. You're going to be making food. What better food to make for your family and friends for Mother's Day than Omaha Steaks? Now, you saw us eating the steak burgers at the top of the show. These things are absolutely phenomenal. Omaha Steaks' brand new Burger Perfection Flight is something you have got to try. I'm telling you guys, it's absolutely delicious. Not only are Omaha steak burgers, the original steak burgers, delicious, but now they've actually expanded their steak burger offering. So in the package, for $79.99, you will get 20 burgers. You get 4 burgers of each of their different types of steak. It's incredible. So you're going to get 4 filet mignon steak burgers, 4 ribeye steak burgers, 4 New York strip steak burgers, 4 sirloin steak burgers, and even 4 brisket burgers. 5 different kinds of steak burgers for you to enjoy. It doesn't get any better than that. And at $79.99 on sale right now, it's a no-brainer. Plus, if you go to omahasteaks.com, use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out, you will get $20 off and free shipping on orders of over $129. And I'm telling you guys, that is not that much money to spend at Omaha Steaks, because you get so much food. You get a ton of food for your money. Big bang for your buck at Omaha Steaks, and it's absolutely delicious food. Again, Mother's Day's coming up. You guys saw us eating the steak burgers on the show. They're absolutely delicious. If you have any questions, just reach out. We'll let you know. But use that code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. Again, orders of $129 or more will get you $20 off and free shipping. I might as well order 2 of the Burger Perfection packages and just get 40 burgers. It's unreal. So stock up for the summer. Get ready for Mother's Day. And, of course, Father's Day is right around the corner after that, too. Be ready. Be prepared. Get ready to grill. Have some fun. And just continue to enjoy the rest of the night, the rest of the draft. We're excited to see who the Browns come away with, who's going to be new Cleveland Browns on the roster in 2023. It doesn't get any better than this right now. So again, omahasteaks.com, promo code DAWGS. Enjoy the rest of the draft, everybody. Go Browns.
First of all, we start with premium beef. We use only the finest in grain-fed beef, selected for superior marbling and flavor and tenderness. All of our beef is USDA inspected for quality. We exceed all the USDA quality standards. Then we age our steaks to perfection. All Omaha steaks are aged for a full 21 days to unlock the full flavor and tenderness of our fine beef. Aging is a time-honored, old-world tradition that's all but lost today, but there's still no finer way to bring out the best in the beef. They're all hand-trimmed to exacting specifications for perfect, consistent steaks. After that, we vacuum seal your steaks to seal in the juices and ensure freshness. And we flash freeze them at the peak of flavor and tenderness for the ultimate in steak enjoyment. We wrap our delicious steaks with a fabulous service experience, quality advice from steak experts, great recipes, and online information that makes it easy to cook and serve a perfect steak every time. Last but not least, all Omaha steaks are unconditionally guaranteed for complete satisfaction. You must be thrilled or your money back.
I'm telling you, those Omaha steaks are amazing. They're so delicious. Now, before we dive back into our live coverage, I just want to remind everybody that ongoing tonight, we do have the Homage t-shirt giveaway going on. So please, just a quick recap on how to enter. Go to our Twitter page, retweet the pinned tweet at the top of the page. You got to tag a friend in your retweet, and you must also follow Homage and the Dogs podcast. That gets you 1 entry in the contest, okay? Here's a way to get 3 entries into the contest. Go to you. Well, you're on YouTube right now, obviously, so stay here on YouTube, but join our channel. Become a YouTube Dog Pack member. Pricing tiers start at just 99 cents to become a member of our channel. It's a great way to help support the show, and it gets you 3 entries into this contest. 5 entries into the contest if you are or become tonight during the show a Patreon Dog Pack member. And again, we've got different tiers there too. The lowest one is $4.99. So another great way to support the show. Great dogs community, great Browns community, diehard fans in there. A lot of fun, great place to be. So again, stay tuned. See if you win an Homage t-shirt or the grand prize at the end of the night. Now let's get back to the NFL draft. Now we're back. I didn't even have the mics unmuted.
Well, hey, that's fine.
Kyle, that was Kyle's rear.
Yeah.
For anybody who's interested, that's producer Kyle.
Views are going to
You
go
didn't
through
even
the
have
roof.
to pay for that.
Yeah. That was free.
Forget
We
OnlyFans.
just shot up to 10,000 viewers.
What? Wow.
Kyle, come back.
Yeah, get back in here.
Yeah. So as you can see, we got John.
Everybody
in
say hi
studio
to
right
Kyle.
now.
Come on. You can jump in the picture here.
So we gave ourselves 5 minutes to get John ready. Clearly, that wasn't enough time. So we're going to do, like Bill O'Reilly said, we're going to do it live.
Well, it was kind of
That's
fun.
right.
We got them all situated, and then at the very last minute, we said, "Is this mic on?" Nope.
It was not on. And then it turns out ours weren't on. So, John, it's good to have you here. I won't ask you anything since you don't have a mic yet, and the people won't be able to hear you. Uh-oh. Are we good now?
Are we good now?
Can you guys hear John?
I don't know. They'll have to let us know.
Let us know.
Hashtag let them know.
While you were gone, I told your joke about C.J. Stroud not requesting a trade from Houston.
Yeah, it would be moving.
It landed like a brick. I thought it was funnier than America did. I'm glad you got here safely, John.
Thank you.
So while we were gone, B.J. Ojulari picked by the Cardinals. I have some information on him, if I can find it, courtesy of the Discord. And we're way behind, so I got to catch up. Did I already talk about him? No, I didn't. B.J. Ojulari, edge rusher out of LSU, 21 years old, 6'2", 248 pounds. Ojulari is the younger brother of Giants edge rusher and second-rounder Azeez Ojulari. So he's got good NFL stock.
We talked about him
in the family.
whenever he was coming out as a potential pick for the Browns.
He's similarly undersized edge with an array of pass rushing moves at his disposal. Saw his playing time ever since his freshman year and racked up 127 pressures in 3 seasons. So the dude's been productive since a freshman at a high-level university like LSU. So that's impressive. And then also while we were gone, the Packers finally picked an offensive player.
Yes. I like that pick.
And they picked tight end out of Oregon State, Luke Musgrave.
Yep.
He is 22 years old, 6'6", 253 pounds. He ran a 4.61. Said it's a shame we only saw 2 games out of Musgrave before an undisclosed knee injury cost him the rest of the 2022 season. The senior tight end was balling with 11 catches for 169 yards and a score over that span. He's the best athlete at the position in the class, boasting the kind of speed and agility to separate from defensive backs. You've kind of just seen, like, tight ends, I would say, in, like, the last, since Gronk came onto the scene and Aaron Hernandez. Those hybrid tight ends, if you have 1 or 2 of them, and Njoku, they're game changers, and they're typically the safety net for your quarterback.
Yeah, Musgrave's the guy that Barry Shuck, another guy that he saw at the Senior Bowl. He talked to him, interviewed him, watched him that week, and came away pretty impressed. But I think the lack of playing experience, the injury history, was a bit of a concern. Yeah, go ahead.
So the Lions pickers in very weird draft so far with the Lions.
Yeah.
If they don't go defense here, I don't know. My head might explode. Because that was the team's weakness.
Yeah.
And they've gone, running back? And then they went the linebacker. And then who did they pick up again here just early the second round? The tight end.
out of Iowa.
Yeah, the tight end out of Iowa. So they need to go defense. And they need to go defense in a bad way. And I'm kind of surprised with a head coach like Dan Campbell, like the tough – I'm kind of surprised they've gone all this offense so far. Mm-hmm. Are you guys surprised with that?
It doesn't surprise me so much just because we saw them actually put together a pretty decent offensive output last year. Yeah. And it just seems like that's what they want to continue doing. So I don't hate the picks they've made. I hate where they've taken them.
Oh, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Very
I think
fair,
Jahmyr Gibbs is a great running back for them. But at 12, I think was a bad place to take him.
I think you could have gotten him farther down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So – we got a little bit of dead time here while we're waiting for the Lions pick to come in. Something we talked about before the break that we were going to get into. A team that teams are considering, or people are considering, had a good day yesterday. AFC North rival, the Ravens. So I feel like we need to finally get into this a little bit.
Yes.
And get John warmed up, coming into here. First, what did you think? What do you guys think of re-signing Lamar? How much does it turn the needle? Because me and Justin and Josh, we were kind of going back and forth in our text message group when that happened. I'm on the side I wanted him gone.
Me too.
I wanted him gone.
Me too.
I just thought there's no shot he's coming back.
Yep.
I thought it was done.
I wanted a rebuild.
I don't like to give this guy any props, but Aaron Butler's like Nostradamus right now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He's got the pulse on the Ravens.
Yeah, if you're listening right now, which I don't know if you are, don't let that go to your head. But He called it. He called Odell. He called Lamar. I mean, they made him the highest paid player
In the
in
NFL.
NFL history. It's one of those things. Do I know if he's worth being paid the most money in NFL history? That part I don't know. Is it annoying and makes life tougher for the Browns? 100% yes.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Like if sitting, it's one of those things where before they re-signed Lamar, I had the Ravens is probably finishing like third in the division. Now, if I'm sitting here, I would probably pick them to win it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Zay Flowers is an absolute steal for them. I can't.
And they always get their guy.
Yeah.
It always the last year. Who did it fell to him last year that they got? They just like fell right to
Kyle
him.
Hamilton.
Yeah. The guy's just they like the guy that like they have starred on their big board just falls to them. Yeah. It's just the rich get richer. So, thoughts, Lamar? What do you guys think?
I'll start it off. I thought that they were going to be rolling out a very good defense and that they were going to be hard to score against.
Fatal Gnome says, "Glad you made it, John. Hope you didn't work too hard. We need your effort now."
Sorry, I worked too hard.
No, you didn't. I know what you do for a living. The machine worked hard.
Yeah.
That's true.
So keep going.
But I was honestly hoping that I'm not saying that they would go into a rebuild, but I wanted a little uncertainty. And I felt like the whole offseason that it just felt very like un-Baltimore-like. You know what I mean? I felt like their offseason was rough. The direction was a little strange. And then, you start seeing things falling in place. Honestly, I know Josh is going to disagree with this. I think that they're going to be very dangerous on offense. And we can say, hey, is Odell going to stay healthy, blah, blah, blah. Like you said, Flowers is – I think that those guys are going to be running around wide open because everybody's so worried about the run. And you have Dobbins and you have Lamar Jackson who can absolutely just shred you. I think there's just going to be a lot of backs turned. And this is a team that has kicked our ass for years. My entire life, they have put it on us. And we can say, hey, Lamar Jackson, he sucks. He's 6-3 against us. He beats us. That's tough.
Hey,
They
you want
took
to talk
one.
about this one?
Yeah,
let's go.
We'll come back to Lamar. Go ahead and talk. You seem excited.
This is for where they're getting him. This is an absolute steal. I mean, they just signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's very versatile. Brian Branch is also very versatile.
This is the Lions we're talking about.
Yeah, some people have listed him as a corner. Some people have him as a safety. For me, he is a safety, but he's a do-it-all guy. Like this is a great pick. And I mean, the Lions have put some money on defense. I know they haven't necessarily drafted a ton of defense, but you've been talking about it. They need to add, solid defensive players. They just got one of the steals of the draft, in my opinion, and this is at 45. This is a guy that I would have thought would have been top of the second round, and here we are at 45.
So we got Brian
Campbell.
Brian Branch Jr. Out of Alabama, 21 years old, 6 foot, 190 pounds. He ran a 4.58. Branch is the definition of a football player. He plays the game you wish every defensive back would. He's also the best tackling defensive back BFF has graded, missing only 4 tackles on 174 career attempts. Here's my thing about that. We as Browns fans know, I feel like tackling is so underrated when evaluating these players. I don't care how good you are. If you can't tackle, you can't play. This is still football. And we watch Mack Wilson and all kinds of players on the Browns just miss tackle. And it turns 2-yard gains into first downs, and it kills your defense. So, solid pick by the Lions. Do the Lions win the division?
They could.
They could.
They very well could.
I mean, I think they
Jamison Williams suspended, don't forget.
Yeah, but they played all year last year without him.
I still think the Vikings have the leg up in that division, but their defense is not that great.
They won a lot of close games.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
They won all their close games last year.
It was the opposite end of the spectrum. The year before, they lost all those one-score games.
Right.
Last year, they won all of them. So you got to think if they fall in the middle, they're going to be like a 500 team.
It's very
You know
possible.
what I mean?
It's totally possible. Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm picking the Lions right now. I'm on my Lions.
You are, man. You want to
remind me of the
double
super
up on
annoying
that,
dude
huh?
I knew who kept saying the Lions were going to finish above the Packers last year.
I'm him.
You're him.
Yeah, I'm him. So back to the Lamar situation. even here's my argument on it is I don't think Lamar's an elite level passer, but I don't think he needs to be.
Correct.
With their defense, I think. And Aaron Butler has been saying this, and we gave him crap for it because I didn't think he was going to be on the team. They don't have to score that many points. If the Ravens score 20 points, they're going to make the playoffs, a game, because their defense will keep you down, and then they will just be the number one rushing team in the league. Lamar will throw for 2,800 yards, but it'll rush for 1,600, and you won't be able to stop him, and he'll convert third downs with his legs, and you'll be on the field for 45 plays instead of 70, and they'll beat you 20-14. And that's what's going to happen.
I agree.
That's my fear.
I don't think it's about really how well Lamar can throw a football. To me,
It's just how he affects the game in his way.
Well, as far as how successful they're going to be, to me, it's all about health.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Lamar is a playoff. I mean, he gets to the playoffs. Hasn't done well in the playoffs. But the only years he didn't make it, he was hurt, for most of the year. So if he's healthy, they're going to be dangerous. I don't know. They got some people on offense, Odell being one of them, Lamar.
They just
Are they
drafted
gonna stay
Zay
healthy?
Flowers.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Are they going to stay healthy, those
Yeah.
guys? I mean, and J.K. Dobbins still coming off an injury. I mean, he looked like he was getting back to form last year, but you just never know how a guy's going to respond after that either with re-injury stuff. My thing with the Ravens is we just sat here earlier and talked about how, these teams talk about defense, but in the end, whenever they win a Super Bowl, what wins the Super Bowl right now? It's this offense, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, the Ravens aren't going to have that offense. I went back and I looked. So since I think it was 1996 is whenever their franchise actually started, and they've only had three seasons where they've had over 4,000 passing yards as a team. So they're not a high. They just don't have a history of being a high passing offense, and I still don't think they're going to be. I mean, we're talking when Lamar came in, it was 3,700. 2019, it was 3,300. 2,900. They didn't even hit 3,000 in 2020. 4,200 then in 21, but then back down to 32. So I just don't see them having the. I know the Todd Monken thing, whatever, blah blah blah, but I just don't see it happening.
And I guess my argument would be I don't think they need to.
They don't need
They
to.
don't need
But I'm
to
saying
at
when
all.
you get to the playoffs, like
Yeah,
we
but I'm not
talked about.
talking
Yeah,
playoffs.
we're
I'm
talking about
the
winning the
division.
division.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about because Lamar gets to the playoffs, he's going to lose. So that's a foregone conclusion. But that's just going to continue happening because of this.
No, I'm not talking about the Super Bowl. I don't think, I'm not saying Lamar signing with the Ravens makes them Super Bowl favorites. I'm saying it makes them AFC North favorites. And if Lamar throws for 3,000 yards, that's not how they need to play. I think the only thing that could be the downfall of the Ravens is if they come out and just try to be a wide open passing attack and Lamar throws it 40 times a game. To me, then that could be their downfall because that's not his strength. But if they play to the strength, what scares me the most is if Todd Monken comes out and spreads them out and runs like a college spread because you're not going to stop that. In a college, I mean, like Urban Meyer ran the spread at Ohio State, but we still ran the ball a ton. If they go to that kind of offense, you're not stopping a Dobbins Lamar read option. When your defense is all on the outside the numbers, you're not doing it. So that's what scares me. It doesn't matter if they only throw for 3,000 yards if they have 2,500 yards rushing. That's 5,500 yards of offense in a season.
So, DF, you got information on Zay Flowers, some knowledge on him? Because I was looking at, since Lamar came in the league in 2018, who are like guys that the Ravens have taken in the top 100 picks of the draft? And the names are guys like Rashad Bateman, J.K. Dobbins, Devin Duvernay, Marquise Brown, Miles Boykin, Hayden Hurst was a first-rounder, Mark Andrews, and now Zay Flowers. So out of that list, I really only see two, obviously Mark Andrews. That was a good pick. He was a third-round pick. Marquise Brown he had his moments
Hollywood
with them.
Brown, yeah.
It wasn't terrible, but I don't think he was a first-round production pick. And then Rashad Bateman, the jury's out because he's never on the field, and Dobbins is good, but overall they have not drafted very well in the top 100. So why is Zay Flowers different if he is?
The thing that's different with Zay Flowers is he's good over the middle of the field, where I would argue Hollywood Brown is more of your deep threat. Just send him vertical. Flowers is going to beat you with his technique. He's a great route runner, and he gets open. I mean, that's the one thing. He's shifty, and he's going to be able to shake defenders at the NFL level. The thing with me, though, is Lamar is the type of player, obviously he extends plays, but when the play breaks down, Zay Flowers, similar to like an OBJ, is going to be able to adjust on the fly. I mean, that's one of the things that he's going to be able to do. And at his shiftiness, at his speed, boy, I mean, that's crazy, especially when you factor in the guys they already have. For me, there was 2 guys, Jason and Zay Flowers, that I did not want on the Ravens, and they got Flowers, which I guess as an Ohio State fan, I guess I would rather have them get
because
Zay
it
Flowers.
already makes me sick that Dobbins is on their team.
I'd still like to root for JSN, so this is good.
I still don't put their receiving core, like, I'm not afraid of their receivers. Basically it's Lamar.
Yeah.
And it's Lamar because we have yet to prove to stop him. He like Justin said, he's 6-3 against us. Like I think, and I'm not going to say I'm afraid of their defense, but I think their defense has a chance to be very good.
That's very good, yeah.
Okay, so they're going to have a solid defense, and they're going to just ball control you to death. I don't think Odell tips the needle for them. I'm not afraid of Bateman. Mark Andrews is very good.
Yes.
Even Zay Flowers, I'm not that worried. I already watched him ruin Bateman. It's just the fact that this guy touches the ball 70 times a game for them, and he's one of the most electric players in the league, and I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
That's my thought process.
It's just more speed, more shiftiness, more quickness in general for the Ravens. That's the most frustrating part. It's like a team that's already fast got faster. And he's not just speed. This is not Anthony Schwartz. This is somebody.
It's football speed.
Yeah.
Elite route runner.
Yeah. And
You can actually play the position.
He's been compared to, not off the field, but on the field, Antonio Brown.
I've heard
coming
that.
out.
It's crazy.
Just
Who's also on the Ravens.
That, I'll tell you what, man, that was the craziest thing I saw all day. Like,
as long as he's not like AB on Snapchat, that's all I care about.
So
Wow.
we got the Bucks pick coming in. We'll announce this pick, then we'll get caught up. We kind of missed the last few with our Ravens talk. So this Bucks pick is in. Offensive tackle Cody Mock.
Congrats, Baker. Get some protection.
it's a big boy.
So let's go back and review real quick.
That's who that is.
Wasn't he a tight end in high school or something?
Oh, was it? I thought he was a quarterback or something.
Dude.
There you
Yeah,
go.
He was a quarterback. This dude,
Quarterback, tight end, and defensive end.
Nice.
at the high school, big dude. So I mean, that's kind of
A lot of hair.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. So I kind of want to recap these picks. Then the Patriots went edge rusher Keon White. Are they ever going to draft offensive players? Poor Mac Wilson, man.
Well, rumor was they wanted to trade him.
Yeah.
I
Now
guess
they don't.
I
get
guess.
him.
I guess that Belichick did not like some of the backdoor dealing that Mac Wilson was doing last year, and Belichick's greatest coach of all time probably, but it's at the point now where he's kind of old and set in his ways, and he doesn't seem to he's not evolving with the league. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna be good with what they have right now. Like you got to have speed and you got to be able to win in space and all that kind of stuff. So I'm surprised to see them go defense again.
Baker's gonna love this dude, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. He looks like a fun dude.
Well, for the period of time Baker's there, he will love him.
True.
Yeah. So and then Washington went Jartavius Martin, cornerback out of Illinois. PFF didn't like that; they gave it a below average grade. And then Tampa Bay here, and then the Steelers have already made their pick, and so has Green Bay. Man, TV is
Behind.
way behind.
Do you know who Steelers picked? Did it show you?
They're getting ready to pick right here, but I do know who they picked.
Okay.
So we got Aaron's in here.
Yeah, yes.
Aaron, I gave you your flowers earlier, and that's it.
Your Zay Flowers.
Yeah. He says OBJ and Todd Monken, Zay Flowers, Nelson Aguilar are here for the ride, not to save the Ravens. They're here to learn how to win and help us
Nelson
win the Super
Aguilar?
Bowl. Here-
Really? That's part of your argument.
Yeah, I will listen to you all day about winning games and being competitive and being very good. Don't talk Super Bowl. Lamar has one win and in the playoffs, and he has more turnovers than touchdowns in the playoffs. So if
Yeah,
you're
take it easy.
yeah. Well, so Give it a rest.
Kenny Max says, how are there so many Ravens fans on a Dogs podcast?
I don't want to jump ahead, but I just saw the Packers pick.
I haven't seen it yet, but I had a buddy text me and he said he likes what they're doing.
I'm not going to spoil it, but what I'm going to say is this is very interesting because this is a guy that we have talked about later, and he went very early.
Well, I wonder how many people here in the chat aren't ahead of the TV anyway, with us. But
I mean,
you guys let us know. Do you want us to start
I don't
spoiling
wanna spoil
stuff?
it for everybody in the room, but
Oh, it doesn't matter to me.
Unrendered says it's because the Ravens don't have podcasts.
that's not true. Engraven Vids on YouTube. He's a great
I've heard
Ravens
of him.
YouTube guy. I mean, I had a little beef with him for no reason over Baker at one point, but he's cool. I like him. Good dude.
It says everybody's behind in the Discord that we're way ahead of you.
I'm not
well
shocked.
aware. Phil Davis says there's several Ravens podcasts. Yeah. Well, why don't you list them off for Aaron and Be More Ravens and whoever else we got in here, so they can.
Willie Johnson. I love that name.
So, are you guys surprised the Browns we haven't heard anything yet, or do you think they're going to stay pat? You think they're going to move up? What do you guys think?
I'm not surprised. I mean, we didn't jump up 20 picks, last year. The year we got JOK, we moved up a few slots. Nothing crazy.
Do you think there's do you think a Chase Young thing is in the works, or do you think like a Hopkins thing's do you think they're backdoor dealing right now, or do you think we're just sitting pat?
Go ahead.
Dude, we're not getting Chase Young
No.
if they want 2 first.
This is very
We
true.
don't have those.
This is very true. We don't. Our first round pick this year and next year is our quarterback.
I think people got to get over the big name hunting. I think you got to be realistic here, and I know I probably sound extremely negative when I say this. Like every week I feel like I say this, but you have to look at the contracts and look at the long term. The value is getting guys in the second, third, and fourth round who can be starters for you on the rookie contracts. That's where the core of your team is made. And as far as your question about the Browns trading up, if things keep going as they are and it's not going to cost an arm and a leg to trade up, you're still looking at a lot of great names that the Browns could be interested in.
I was actually going to run through some of these that I was just skimming through the top of.
Did I miss it? Did Josh Downs get picked, or
No,
am I going
he's still
crazy?
on the board. Trenton Simpson's still on the board.
Yeah.
Cedric Tillman, who's Jalen Hyatt's teammate, that I actually like Cedric Tillman better than Jalen Hyatt.
Hyatt's available too.
Hyatt's still out there. Marvin Mims. I was just going to mention Keanu Benton, who just went to the Steelers. Great. What?
I was about to cuss.
That was a guy that would have been nice to be available for the Browns, but I will not mention him now.
Steelers always get great defensive linemen.
So Zach
pisses me
Pickens,
off so
the DT out of South Carolina, is still available. That's Sidney Brown, the safety out of Illinois. Battle is still available. Drew Sanders, the linebacker out of Arkansas. There's still a lot of guys.
What is the biggest position in need?
I had somebody point out to me that, we spend a lot of time talking about linebacker, rightfully so. I still think defensive interior, we need some more depth there, and we are thin on the edge still.
I don't think there's any interior defensive lineman that I would take right now. I think for the Browns, I'm more so looking at 98 versus 74, especially, we've been talking about it. Some of the positions that you have with the talent still available, I think it's worth it to take that position with the better talent and then just come back to it later. And plus, it's a very interesting name, and you guys are Ohio State fans. Zach Harrison.
I was gonna mention
this is a kid who was the #1 prospect coming out of high school. Uber athletic. He's massive. For me, I kind of think he plays similar to a guy the Browns just had, Jadeveon Clowney. So, his lack of production, and I think he's dropping or has dropped massively. That's the guy I want to talk about. Has dropped massively because of the lack of production, because you're talking Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, Chase Young, Cam Hayward. That's the level you got to play at. He didn't play at that level, but he's got the talent to get there. So he's an interesting name.
Yeah, him, and I keep seeing Nick Herbig out of Wisconsin too as another guy. So
bad.
there's a lot of names out there still. As far as trading up, to kind of address the original question, I'm thinking it's stay pat or trade back a few. If there's 3 or 4 or 5 of these guys on the board that the Browns are like, we're good with any of these guys, they might trade back a few spots,
Don't
collect a
trade
couple.
back. God, I hate trading.
I'm not saying I love it. I'm
hate
saying
it.
I can see it happening. Andrew Berry's only traded up 1 time in 3 years, so
for JOK.
for JOK.
So what it makes me kind of nervous when I think about the Browns roster and whole, which we're going to get to Jaden Reed pick out for the Packers right now. DF's chomping at the bit. But I just want to, if you really look at the roster, we're thin in kind of a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, who's going to be the other starting interior D lineman?
We don't know.
It's up for the take.
You know what I mean? We don't know who's going to start a linebacker. You know, we don't know if Amari Cooper goes down. Wide receiver is,
What about safety?
you know what I mean?
Safety's locked up, I think.
One injury and it's
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If there's,
Depth,
I agree
depth,
with
yeah.
I agree with you there. I think they're great as far as starters, but if there's an injury, we love D'Anthony Bell, but it's him and then who's the other guy? Bubba something. I've never even heard of the guy. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of just.
It's crazy to me, just talking about safety. I've talked a lot about Jordan Battle. I can't believe, because for me, modern day strong safeties in the NFL is exactly what he is. Like, you want a guy who can hit, who's fast, who's physical, but he's also great in coverage. Mm-hmm. And he's not being talked about that highly, and it's kind of surprising to me because he's done it consistently. I mean, maybe he's not been like the player that just pops off the tape all the time, but he's not been bad, and he tested decently, and here we are, and it kind of looks like the Browns might be able to get him at 98.
Man, can they move up to pick 53 and 54?
No kidding.
We're still 20-some picks away from the Browns. The fact that we got all these people in here and we're still 20 picks away from a Browns pick is pretty awesome. Again, thanks for being here. We got Ravens fans in here running their mouths right now. But no,
Yes,
I'm going
we
to give
do.
DF his chance here. He wants to talk about Packers pick Jaden Reed. So the floor is yours.
No, I mean, I think it's interesting because, again, with the NFL draft, what fascinates me the most is what you're seeing a lot this year, where it's like you have guys at the same position who, in my opinion, are better, but because of a few traits, you're seeing other guys go ahead. And Reed is one of those players. I mean, the Packers, if they're looking for a Jalen Reed and they didn't take a Tillman or a Hyatt or somebody like that, that's surprising to me. So some people think that, he's got potential to be really, really good. The Packers must believe that because they passed up a lot of really good receivers who produced in college football for this kid.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not – so I've heard a lot of people talking about him being strictly a slot receiver in the NFL. I mean, he's not exactly the small slot receiver profile. I mean, he's 5'11". He's almost 6 feet tall, about 190.
That's what I saw.
Oh, the Seahawks took Charbonnet.
Oh my
That's what yeah.
Whoa.
Dude, they're
Kenneth
draft
Walker and Zach
crazy.
Charbonnet
Their offense is going to be
loaded.
ridiculous.
If
They see an opening in that division. They know they're – I mean, it's them and the Niners.
for sure.
if Geno doesn't regress and he plays like he did last year,
Yikes.
I'm still taking the Niners.
Yeah, me too. But my goodness.
Oh, yeah, it's hard not
I mean,
to.
they
but
made Seahawks. They made the playoffs last year.
They're putting together. I mean, this is obviously you can't grade a draft for
Trade a graph.
yeah. I don't think you can grade it for 2-3 years, really. But man, on paper, they're killing it.
Yeah. The last 2 years.
It's
now.
like them and the Eagles in terms of, and I'm giving it to them because they didn't draft any murderers. So,
That you know of.
yeah, that I
mean,
know of.
the future is always in motion, as Yoda said. Is that Yoda? That's Yoda, right? I got that right? I think so.
I don't know, but that's good stuff.
man.
Going back to Jaden Reed, though, I think that it's an interesting, like you said, it's interesting that the Packers picked him over some of the other receivers available because he is a little bit older coming out of college. He's already 23, but he's a great route runner. This is another guy from the Senior Bowl that Barry Shuck was really high on, and we talked about him when we had him on back whenever that was in February. So,
Did you just say he's a little older at 23?
well, a lot of these guys coming out are like 21, maybe 22.
Do you remember Brandon Whedon exists?
Yeah.
Did
Hey,
guys
Hendon
think he did
Hooker's
that?
already, what is he? He's already older than Joe Burrow, isn't it? I think.
Should read Fatal Gnome's last comment in the live.
I don't even see it.
Oh, well, I don't know. We're going to read that.
Yeah,
Where's it at?
Oh,
Oh gosh, who's he talking to?
there's Ravens
a lot of
fans
Ravens
in
fans
here.
in here now.
This is how you know though that Ravens fans are delusional. I mean, he says Watson's a good QB, Chubb is good, everyone else blows. There's no stop. Come on, be realistic. Myles Garrett blows. Come on, bro. Like
Amari Cooper was pretty.
yeah,
good
Amari
last
Cooper
year.
blows. I mean, come on, like stop. You can like at least if you're gonna talk crap, like use factual, points.
That's like whenever we put out that video, that our little blurb about talking smack on Juju. Remember that? There were so many people in the comments on that video saying, when was the last time the Browns had a 1,000-yard receiver? I'm like, this year?
Like, come on. And we had 2 1,000-yard receivers, and we had Odell and Jarvis.
Right.
And a 1,000-yard rusher. We won 6 games that year. Doesn't freaking mean anything. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
right.
Like, so, but did you guys think it was funny last night that the Jets took a defensive player?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Because, I mean, Aaron Rodgers
Green Bay
supposedly is
Jets.
always mad that they weren't drafting help for him, and then he goes to the Jets and they go defensive.
So the
round
big
one.
thing, though, was the Steelers. It was Steelers, right? Jumped up ahead of the Jets to get that
Yeah.
offensive tackle.
Yep.
Did they jump the Jets or
I thought it was.
Yeah, they took
Roderick Jones.
Jones?
Yeah.
And that was like what the tier break on the tackles and the Jets. That's who they were gunning for to try to get
Yep.
that protection for Rodgers. Because were you watching that last night, or you were busy?
I was busy.
So if you were watching, then you saw that the Jets were scrambling. They were scrambling as soon as he got picked by the Steelers. They didn't know where to go with their pick. They were trying to trade it. It was kind of fun to watch, honestly. And they came away with Will McDonald, which
You should probably be prepared.
Andrew Berry should have said, "We'll give you Anthony Schwartz." Right
I wanted to mention a couple other good players for the Browns, just for this guy. They have a former Pro Bowler right tackle, Jack Conklin. We have 2 of the top 5 guards in the league in Batonio and Teller. We had the number 3 graded overall center last year in Posick. We have Denzel Ward is one of the best. He's a top 10 corner in the league.
Martin Emerson, one of the promising rookies from
Yeah.
last year.
So don't come at me with everybody on the Browns. Just stop. You can say as an organization we've sucked.
Yes,
I
that's
say that
fair.
all the time.
That's fair,
You're not
absolutely.
telling me anything that I don't already know.
Yeah.
You can't say that the roster is terrible. Stop. You sound stupid. So we're coming. By the way, just a reminder, we're coming up. We're probably about 10 minutes or so away from picking more winners in our homage T-shirt giveaway and our Brown of the Elf T-shirt giveaways. So if you haven't yet entered those contests, again, to enter those, you have to become a Dog Pack member on here. What else do you got to do?
you can be if you're a Patreon Dog Pack member, become that. Go to our Twitter page and retweet the pin tweet at the top. But I mean, you're here on YouTube, right? You're watching this. 99 cents. Become a Dog Pack member and get 3 entries into the drawing. We're about to make the drawing.
Yep. And again, it's live all night. We got 3 more giveaways. Well, 6 more giveaways. Yeah. But for the homage T-shirts, which a lot of you guys I know you're interested in, and the grand prize giveaway, I think we're probably going to do time around the Browns pick. Mm-hmm. That's 2 T-shirts and a hoodie. I mean, that's $100-some worth of T-shirts and hoodies.
The shirts
probably.
are almost $40 a piece. So
yeah. So it's 99 cents. So if it's something you're interested in, you want to help out the show, do it.
And you get the cool little badge, level 1 badge, and a lot of these guys are about to turn into level 2 here after they've been a member for a month, and you get the emojis. Thank you, Natus the Greatest and Andrew Jackson, for showing those off.
And again, jointhedogs.com, become a Dog Pack member. I jumped into the Discord
during the break.
Okay.
And it's going off.
Okay.
So now we got, am I saying this right? Is it Gervin or Gervin?
Gervon Dexter.
Gervon. Man, I'm terrible.
Senior.
Gervon Dexter Sr., interior defensive lineman out of Florida, going to Chicago. You told me Richardson had no help. He's got a second-round pick.
Yeah. What a great receiver Gervon Dexter is, huh?
I know we talked – we talked about this earlier, but maybe there's some new people. To me, that is – I'm not drafting a guy 4th overall who is a project. That's just, to me, like, that's crazy.
You know,
Especially because if you don't pick him this year and you stink, you can draft Caleb Williams next year.
Yep.
Who's not a project. Now a project. If he doesn't eventually pan out, you're 5-6 years behind schedule,
And you're fired.
And you're fired. And all these good weapons and stuff you have, they're done. They're not even on the team anymore.
This pick is interesting. We or at least I talked about it.
Yes,
a
you did.
little
Yep.
bit. I like Gervon Dexter. I think a lot of people probably think I didn't like him, but
You didn't sound too high on him.
he's one-dimensional. That's
Yeah.
that's what's interesting to me. The Bears, in my opinion, taking him this high at 50, what was that, 53?
Yeah.
They're betting that he can develop some sort of pass rush because this guy is a dominant run defender, but he gets pushed around in the pass rush. So for the Bears, I mean, this is a team that has swung for the fences, it seems, so far,
Yeah.
doing what they've done. And, moving off of one and getting everything they've gotten, they take a guy who's a little bit in a similar way, kind of a project, to where he's really good at one thing, and they're betting on him to develop as a pass rusher. If he does, he can be really good. He could be really good. The only thing I'll say about him is my biggest pet peeve with him and why I wasn't as big of a fan, at the snap of the ball, he is so slow.
That's not good.
Like, I mean, he literally, when the ball snapped, he stands up and just sits there and then gets his hands on you and kind of shifts you around. I just backed way far away. I hope
Yeah,
people
you were
heard
pretty
me.
far back there.
I could
You're
hear
good.
you.
You're
Okay. Well, yeah, you're right there. But I
John
hope
might not have been able to.
I hope that he can kind of develop. Here's another really good pick.
Yep. I just saw that. one.
Tuli Tuipulotu.
Nice.
I think you nailed that.
Close.
Spot on. I was really happy that Njigba didn't end up in San Diego also. Not San Diego, L.A. Last night. So, edge rusher out of USC, 20 years old, 6'3", 266 pounds. It says he is an ascending, versatile defensive lineman. He barely came off the field for the Trojans this past fall. He racked up 56 pressures. At 6'4", 290 pounds, he can play on the edge, over tackles, or a 3 technique in the NFL. So a lot of versatility for the Chargers. Oh, I know who the
Chiefs?
The Chiefs traded up,
Did they?
and their pick is in. I don't know why TV is like, they're like a good 5 minutes behind.
A lot of people thought this would be the Browns' first pick.
Let me ask you something. Are you guys surprised that Jalen Hyatt hasn't gone yet? Because
No.
there was a lot of mock draft, a lot of that, kind of pre-draft hype talk of him potentially being a first-round pick. Here we are partway through round 2, and Jaden Reed went before him. Because I've been hearing that Jalen Hyatt is more of a one-trick pony. Is that what NFL teams are telling you by?
That's what it is.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it sucks because I think if the Browns take Jalen Hyatt at 74, I'm going to be elated because he's got the talent.
Why don't you
He
tell us
just-
a little bit about Jalen Hyatt for the people who don't know?
So Jalen Hyatt, obviously, why am I forgetting the kid's name?
The other
Quarterback.
receiver?
No.
Oh, Hendon Hooker.
Hendon
Yep.
Hooker. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. Richard Christmas, welcome to the dog pack.
All right.
Oh.
All right.
But no, Jalen Hyatt had a really good year because you saw the elevation of Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker, before he tore his ACL, was top 2 in the country. I mean, he was up there with CJ.
Yeah.
He was up there with Bryce. He was up there with anybody you want to name. And so much of, Hendon Hooker's numbers came from hitting him deep. I mean, there was that one game, I forget, where Jalen Hyatt had like 4 touchdowns. And everybody was like, this guy's going to be going top 10. But, in the NFL, a lot of teams now are afraid to take that kind of one-trick pony because you've seen over the last couple of years kind of the speed guys fail. And it's not that he's a crazy burner, and I do think it's being overstated, the lack of route running ability, because I don't think he's a bad receiver. So I'm surprised he's still here at 55. You got anything to say on this? I don't think I've heard you talk
I was just listening to you wax eloquent on.
John, why don't you just tell us about your day?
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
What do you think?
Nice to meet you. This is our first time meeting.
Wow, what a moment.
Yeah, you guys just witnessed history. So we talked about this before you got here. I don't know how much you know about the guy, but what do you think about the Colts taking a quarterback at number 4 overall who only completed 53% of his passes in college and played one season?
I don't like drafting quarterbacks early if they're not a sure thing. I've never liked it.
There's no such
But
thing
I
as
was
a
going
sure
to say,
thing.
is there ever a sure thing?
Well, there's not, I guess. But yes, kind of. I would have picked Joe Burrow number 1 overall.
Trevor Lawrence.
It
Question.
worked out.
So you're talking about just like a very polished prospect.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, yeah.
Yeah, and even like,
Do you
I
think
mean, Bryce
is
Young,
a
you
sure
can throw
thing?
him in there.
I think he's gonna be good. I'm like so biased though about C.J. Stroud as an Ohio State fan. Like I think he's just gonna be real solid.
Well, what I've been saying to people too is like I've watched every snap of C.J. Stroud's college career, and I watched whenever he was a freshman, true freshman quarterback, and partway through that season, it was like,
He
oh boy,
sucked.
we're in trouble.
He
You
sucked.
know, he came in to replace Justin Fields, who I loved at Ohio State, was a great quarterback for us. And Stroud was rough, man. It was not pretty. And by the end of that season, he was in the Heisman running. I mean, the development that he went through, the progression just shows what he's capable of, and he's only going to continue to get better, in my opinion, in the NFL.
Yeah, what I liked about CJ is you saw, like throughout his career, he kept getting better, and like the things that he struggled with early as a freshman, by the time he left, they were strengths. Richardson didn't even play long enough to figure that out. You know what I mean?
I think you're just a hater, Blake.
No, well, I'm the same way in San Francisco. I don't think Lance. There's nothing about Trey Lance that I think tells me he's going to be a good NFL quarterback.
So I guess my defense of the Colts drafting Anthony Richardson at 4 is not so much in defense of Richardson. It's more of if you need a quarterback and you know that we're not going the retread route. There's no veterans, bridge guys out there. We want to try again. They got that new head coach. He's coming in here. He wants to get his guy and make him his guy. You got the opportunity to take somebody with, like you said, I mean, he has to develop it, but if he develops as a quarterback, I mean, the potential is there to be an absolute stud.
He's got Mahomes' potential, which just
Oh,
let me
What?
let me finish what I'm gonna say.
Oh my goodness.
Stop, Justin.
Well, that was DF. Thanks for coming.
Get him out.
You can see
I gotta-
yourself out.
I'm gonna leave early.
Let
No, I'm
me
just kidding. Go ahead,
clarify
buddy.
what I'm
Yes.
saying. Did you know Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes when he was drafted? No,
Absolutely
you
not.
didn't. But what did he show on film? He showed the athleticism. He showed the ability to extend plays, move around.
You're right.
And
He
I'm not
was not a prospect that everybody was raving
exactly.
over. Yeah.
And I'm not saying Anthony Richardson is Patrick Mahomes, but he has similar traits. That's why you take him that
That's
high.
like saying anybody who's athletic with a big arm has the potential to be Patrick Mahomes.
But I guess I'm saying at 4, if you're on the clock there and like we have to have a quarterback, like that's the one position we have to address, and we got to address it here because
yeah, but you can't just draft him in. Well, I took him at 4, so he'll be good.
no, I'm not. I'm saying they believe that they can do that.
I think that was a
Receivers are
perfect
going.
situation for Patrick Mahomes. Like,
When Patrick Mahomes had a body of work, he went toe for toe with the Heisman Trophy winner in college. He didn't complete 53% of his passes. Like I think he was so underwhelming. He wasn't even like one of the best quarterbacks in his own conference. You know what I mean?
Who was Will Levis?
He played better than Richardson.
No.
Statistically, he did.
Well, I think either way. I mean, I'm excited to see how these guys play out in the NFL in year 1.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
Listen,
Because
I don't
they're
think
going to get thrust into the starting role sooner rather than later.
Hayden
Surrounding
Youngblood, welcome
cast.
to the Dog Pack. Thank you.
Hey, what's up,
very
Hayden?
much.
I just threw your name into the drawing here, which
Did you get Christmas?
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
But no, if they would have taken him in the second round, okay, cool.
He wouldn't have been there. That's the thing. Somebody was going to take him in the
What
first
makes
round.
nobody took Will Levis.
so let me.
That's Will Levis,
Nobody
though.
took Will Levis. So you can't say he wasn't going to be there.
I think if the Colts didn't take him at 4, I think Seattle was taking him.
I know they talked about it.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
they have an embarrassment of riches, multiple picks, and a quarterback that can play for 3-4 more years.
So are you don't think Gardner Minshew is going to be able to start for a significant amount of time?
If Gardner, listen, I love Gardner Minshew, but if you think he can start for a significant amount of time, you're talking multiple years.
No, I'm more so. I mean, half a season or more is what I'm talking about.
If you think Richardson's going to be ready in a half a season, dude, there's no way.
They're definitely. I agree with
Josh.
Josh. Yeah, I'm mixing up Josh
don't
and
worry, it's
Justin.
all right. Yeah, just be like Jay.
Yeah. I agree with Josh in the sense of Richardson will play this year. I think they're going to be smart about it, though, because the Colts aren't in a position where they have to throw him out.
Let me ask you something.
And somebody in the chat, is Richardson going to be good, or is he going to? What's he going to be?
Can we do
Bus?
a poll?
I just did a poll.
You just did a
I
poll?
saw that, yeah.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
If Hooker doesn't get injured, do you think that he gets drafted above Richardson? If he doesn't get hurt and he continues to play like that all season?
Where's this poll at?
No,
I
I
would
don't.
No?
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think
How old is Anthony Richardson? He's 21, isn't he? Did he just turn
he's
21?
only young,
He's
so-
really young.
Yeah.
Okay. And Hooker's 26?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my reasoning. Hooker's
26?
older.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, you've seen quarterbacks have 1 year of success and come in the end, Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I think the skill set that Richardson has is more than Hendon Hooker.
Okay.
Although I think Hooker is the better day one starter.
Right. Okay.
That's kind
I
of
think that's kind of, that's what I was going with.
Hooker's going to come in. If he starts, he's going to be more polished
Mm-hmm.
because he's more mature. He understands the film work and everything like that much more. He's been around for a while.
I don't know if he'll be ready for the start of the season, right?
No, Hooker, I think he's going to be out probably.
Didn't he mid-season?
I thought it was towards the
It was
end.
toward the end. It was like
Yeah.
November. I think it was in
Yeah.
November when he tore it.
Shout out Jesse Kosmeyer. Welcome to the Dog Pack supporter.
You're in the drawing.
We are also in the drawing, which are we going to be doing that now?
We might as well just go ahead and do it.
And then we're going to do it. We're going to
It's a good pick. Best center in the draft.
best center of the draft of the Giants.
Well, that's a good thing. You just signed Daniel Jones, so to a longer, extension.
I feel like that's kind of gotten lost in the offseason, like the contract that he got.
Yeah.
Which I guess compared to like some of the contracts these other
Yeah.
quarterbacks are getting, that was nothing.
Right.
So are we going to do another drawing? Are we going to take another quick 5-minute break after?
What do you guys want to do? Do you guys need a break? Are we good? Do we want to
Stand up.
Yeah, I need to
want to stand up and stretch?
He
I need
wants
to stretch
to.
the
He
legs
wants
a minute.
to.
So
All
if
right,
you-
so that's cool. We'll take a quick 5-minute break. Yep.
Yep. So
And we'll
make
be
sure you
back.
guys we're going to announce the winners. We're going to take another quick 5-minute break, and we will be right back. Again, don't go anywhere. We're going to be here until the Browns make their picks tonight. We're in here in it for the
getting
long
close.
haul. Yep. We appreciate you guys
Behind
being
us.
here. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for everybody who's joined so far. Without further ado, here are your winners.
So let's switch it up this time. This will be for the Brownie the Podcaster Elf T-shirt. In this drawing, winner number 2 for, I guess that'd be February, is Benjamin Mast.
Benjamin Mass. So hopefully you're listening right now. We have your contact information because we have your email. We will be getting a hold of you and getting you your T-shirt. Again, thank you for your support.
Okay. The homage T-shirt number 2 is going to be Val Swanson.
Okay.
Al Swanson, I hope. Ron Swanson's wife. Hopefully you're watching, Val. We will get your contact information. Do we have a way to get their contact information?
Yeah, I'll be reaching out to everybody. We'll get it taken care of.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So we'll be getting a hold of you guys. We'll get you your free homage T-shirt. Make sure you guys are coming back because the closer we get to this Browns pick, I'm pretty sure we're going to do the grand prize drawing, and that is going to be 2 homage T-shirts and a homage hoodie. That's like north of $100 value. So you don't want to miss that. So again, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and we will be right back. Please don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
Hey, everybody. Just want to thank you all once again for joining us tonight on our live coverage of Day 2 of the 2023 NFL Draft, presented, of course, by Omaha Steaks. Guys, Mother's Day is right around the corner. As soon as the draft is over this weekend, it's going to be May. And in May is Mother's Day. You're going to be having family over. You're going to be having a get-together. You're going to be cooking. You're going to be making food. What better food to make for your family and friends for Mother's Day than Omaha Steaks. Now, you saw us eating the steak burgers at the top of the show. These things are absolutely phenomenal. Omaha Steaks, brand new Burger Perfection Flight, is something you have got to try. I'm telling you guys, it's absolutely delicious. Not only are Omaha steak burgers, the original steak burgers, delicious, but now they've actually expanded their steak burger offering. So in the package, for $79.99, you will get 20 burgers. You get 4 burgers of each of their different types of steak. It's incredible. So you're going to get 4 filet mignon steak burgers, 4 ribeye steak burgers, 4 New York strip steak burgers, 4 sirloin steak burgers, and even 4 brisket burgers. 5 different kinds of steak burgers for you to enjoy. It doesn't get any better than that. And at $79.99 on sale right now, it's a no-brainer. Plus, if you go to omahasteaks.com, use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out, you will get $20 off and free shipping on orders of over $129. And I'm telling you guys, that is not that much money to spend at Omaha Steaks because you get so much food. You get a ton of food for your money. Big bang for your buck at Omaha Steaks, and it's absolutely delicious food. Again, Mother's Day's coming up. You guys saw us eating the steak burgers on the show. They're absolutely delicious. If you have any questions, just reach out. We'll let you know. But use that code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. Again, orders of $129 or more will get you $20 off and free shipping. I might as well order 2 of the Burger Perfection packages and just get 40 burgers. It's unreal. So stock up for the summer. Get ready for Mother's Day. And, of course, Father's Day is right around the corner after that, too. Be ready. Be prepared. Get ready to grill. Have some fun. And just continue to enjoy the rest of the night, the rest of the draft. We're excited to see who the Browns come away with, who's going to be new Cleveland Browns on the roster in 2023. It doesn't get any better than this right now. So again, omahasteaks.com, promo code DAWGS. Enjoy the rest of the draft, everybody. Go Browns.
First of all, we start with premium beef. We use only the finest in grain-fed beef, selected for superior marbling and flavor and tenderness. All of our beef is USDA inspected for quality. We exceed all the USDA quality standards. Then we age our steaks to perfection. All Omaha steaks are aged for a full 21 days to unlock the full flavor and tenderness of our fine beef. Aging is a time-honored, old-world tradition that's all but lost today, but there's still no finer way to bring out the best in the beef. They're all hand-trimmed to exacting specifications for perfect, consistent steaks. After that, we vacuum seal your steaks to seal in the juices and ensure freshness. And we flash freeze them at the peak of flavor and tenderness for the ultimate in steak enjoyment. We wrap our delicious steaks with a fabulous service experience, quality advice from steak experts, great recipes, and online information that makes it easy to cook and serve a perfect steak every time. Last but not least, all Omaha steaks are unconditionally guaranteed for complete satisfaction. You must be thrilled or your money back.
I'm telling you, those Omaha steaks are amazing. They're so delicious. Now, before we dive back into our live coverage, I just want to remind everybody that ongoing tonight, we do have the Homage t-shirt giveaway going on. So please, just a quick recap on how to enter. Go to our Twitter page, retweet the pinned tweet at the top of the page. You got to tag a friend in your retweet, and you must also follow Homage and the Dogs podcast. That gets you 1 entry in the contest, okay? Here's a way to get 3 entries into the contest. Go to you. Well, you're on YouTube right now, obviously, so stay here on YouTube, but join our channel. Become a YouTube Dog Pack member. Pricing tiers start at just 99 cents to become a member of our channel. It's a great way to help support the show, and it gets you 3 entries into this contest. 5 entries into the contest if you are or become tonight during the show a Patreon Dog Pack member. And again, we've got different tiers there too. The lowest one is $4.99. So another great way to support the show. Great dogs community, great Browns community, diehard fans in there. A lot of fun, great place to be. So again, stay tuned. See if you win an Homage t-shirt or the grand prize at the end of the night. Now let's get back to the NFL.
Absolutely.
Okay. We are back.
Let's go.
We're back.
We are back.
Thank you to everybody who stuck around, didn't bail on us just because we had a quick 5-minute commercial. We're people too.
That 5 minutes
need
goes
breaks.
fast, man.
Doesn't it?
It goes very fast. Yeah, we'll be right back. We're going to take a 45-minute break. We'll see you guys at pick 78 or 74 when the Browns pick.
Wish I could do that at work. Hey, I'll be back in 45.
I do. You don't do that?
I wish.
Hopefully nobody from work is watching.
I don't care.
So Bill's pick is in. Osiris Torrance, guard out of Florida. I got to shout out Jessia. Pledged to the dog pack while we were at break. So thank you so much for that. Go ahead. What you guys were saying?
I think it's Jesse.
No, it's
Is it?
all one word, Jesea. I don't know.
And that's the Patreon dog pack.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a Jesse dog pack supporter also.
Well,
Is that the same guy?
If you are one and the same,
Okay.
cool beans.
Let it be known.
Osiris Torrance, guard out of Florida. I mean, Richard's had all kinds of help. 6'5",
this is
330
never gonna
pounds, ran a 5'3", 140. Torrance is the top true guard prospect in the class at 6'5", 347 pounds. He's a big boy to try and overpower. He started for 3 seasons at Louisiana before transferring to Florida, where he earned an 88 overall grade last fall.
Notice the key word there, though. True guard, because there's a lot of tackles that have been taken that could end up playing guard. Peter Skronsky, Paris Johnson, I think he should play left tackle, but they already have two good tackles. It makes me wonder, did Kyler want him to play tackle? Because we know Kyler Murray's the one who wanted Paris Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So did he want him as a guard? Did he want him as a tackle? I'd put him at tackle. I'd slide the vet in at guard, personally.
Fatal Gnome just pledged $20 just to say, you Browns members warm my heart. The charity of giving these unfortunate Raven younglings the attention they've only dreamed of getting. It's so sweet. Dog pack, y'all are the best.
Unfortunate Raven younglings.
Gnome is a good man.
Yeah, I love it.
Cincinnati gets himself a pretty solid corner here.
Yeah.
They just lost. They lost a lot of defense this offseason,
did.
and they're going to continue to lose pieces. I saw with their pick last night. They're saying that might be prepping to lose Hendrickson and who's the other guy they got? Hubbard.
Yep.
He said they could be losing one or both. Hendrickson has been a huge piece for them. If they lose Trey Hendrickson, that hurts them a lot. He's super underrated.
Boy, I was wrong about him because I did not want the Browns to get him at all. Oh, shut up, Blake. Why did I say that?
Well, Blake, let's just throw this out here. The poll ended.
Yeah.
It is 50-50 split.
Oh, my God.
No way.
It is
Throw-
a 50-50
throw another poll up.
split.
We can't do this. You know what, Blake, you want to rock, paper, scissors on the poll?
Nope. But I would listen.
He said nope.
John has said this before. John has said this before on the show. For some reason, the Lord has blessed me.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Here
we're
we
going
go.
here.
I'm
Here we
typically
go.
right about these things. I was right about Baker. I was right about Baker way before everybody wanted to give me any credit for that. I was right about the Lions.
That's 2 things.
Blake,
Okay.
I'll pray for you that, God changed your mind on Anthony Richardson, all right?
Nope.
Nope.
You know what's going to happen,
Can't sway
right?
me.
The Browns are going to play the Colts, and he's going to score a game-winning touchdown or something, and I'm just going to be like, screw you, Blake.
Oh, yeah, that game-winning touchdown. So they're 2-15.
But, of course, they'd get that second win against the Browns.
Yeah. Jaguars pick is in. I think it's a little flying under the radar a little bit that the Jaguars are about to insert Calvin Ridley into their lineup.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we gave them a lot of crap for they gave a bunch of money away to some people who we thought they were overpaying, and then a lot of those people worked out.
Yeah.
Which calls to me, it's one of those things like when people start talking about, I can't believe you're paying this guy this much money. We're not paying anybody anything.
No.
These are billionaires. So if they really want Christian Kirk and they think it takes X amount of dollars to get him, who cares if that's what they're paying him? If they can make it work in the books, like that's what I don't get. Oh, I can't believe you're giving this guy this. We're not giving him anything.
Write that check, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not paying. I'm not
Write that
paying
check.
anybody a dime. No one is talking about the AFC South having 3 of the top 4 QBs. So who are the quarterbacks in the AFC South?
The Titans just took Will Levis. Houston took C.J. Stroud, and then the Colts took Anthony Richardson. And the Saints.
The Saints aren't in the AFC.
I'm sorry.
The Jags have
The Jags.
Trevor
Jags
Lawrence.
have Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know why I couldn't. I was like,
It's like
I blanked on it too
It's
there
a
for a
young
second.
QB division right now.
Sure is, yeah.
Dude, did the Titans bring Will Levis in to start this year? Or has Tannehill got
You
another
got
year?
Tannehill.
I think
Dude,
Tannehill's.
Tannehill.
if Will Levis starts over Tannehill,
That means Tannehill fell off a cliff
that
and got ran over by a truck.
When
That
you're paying him
means-
$36 million. Like,
that means Tannehill would have had to have done some Malik McDowell activity.
oh
So
boy.
and which we didn't, we kind of glanced over this. They just drafted a quarterback in the second round last year.
Yep, Malik Willis.
So do we think, like, are they already out on him? They must be out on him already.
I'll say it. I said it once. I'll say it again. Malik Willis is better than Will Levis.
We're gonna find out.
I don't like Will Levis at all.
We're gonna.
I can tell, man. I
don't
can
like
feel
Will
that
Levis.
hate.
I know that Malik Willis did not look good last year.
No.
No.
He looked very bad.
No. Deer in headlights.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like.
And here's the thing I've talked about. I don't care how athletic you are, how good you can throw the ball, all that stuff. Playing quarterback in the NFL, the number one most important thing, in my opinion, is information processing.
Yeah.
I don't care how well you throw. If you can't process this information quickly, you're not going to be
Pick
successful.
the game speed up.
I mean,
Tom
like
Brady.
Zach Wilson can throw the ball just as good as anybody. Baker can throw the ball just as well as anybody in this league, but he can't. What his eyes are seeing doesn't make it to the brain fast enough.
Doesn't he have the longest pass in NFL history?
Yeah, when it was like on
To
the Hail
DPJ?
Mary. Yeah, it wasn't on a Hail Mary attempt. We didn't complete it
Yeah, but it was the furthest thrown ball
in
NFL history. or
Baker
something
can
like
make
that, yeah.
every
Air
throw
yards.
in the NFL. Okay, but what he's seeing doesn't get to his brain and back fast enough. And if you can't do that, you're not going to be successful. The windows are too tight and they close way too fast. That's why I hate if they'll pull up like a still picture and be like, this guy's wide open. I'm like, well, that guy can close that gap in about a tenth of a second. So you can't pull still pictures from this. We got to see video. What do we got going on here in the chat? I'm done acknowledging the Ravens fans. They had when they had their moment. It says Dobbs looked better than Willis. This is true.
Yeah,
That's why
agreed.
I'm happy to have Dobbs back. I think
Yeah.
he's a perfect backup for Deshaun.
Yes.
I think so too. You know, looking at what's going on in the draft at the moment, like, so we're at pick 61. A lot of the guys, Derek, that we've been talking about here are still on the board. So do you see the Browns move into this 60 range at all to get somebody, or do they just sit tight and let whoever they need fall to them?
Well, it just depends. Because, I mean, I heard that the Browns. Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't the guy I was about to say.
Jaguars just took Brenton Strange, tight end out of Penn State.
They what's his face
What a
had kind of
strange
like a
pick.
resurgence with them last year.
Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram,
Yeah.
Yep.
like
Yeah.
Big season.
and we talked about this over the course of the year. We'll talk about a difference like having an actual NFL coach makes.
Oh, jeez.
It went from they were the laughing stock of the league, and we thought like, holy crap, how was everybody in the world wrong about Trevor Lawrence?
Right.
To like they were a playoff threat, and
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence looks like he's going to be that guy.
Yeah, he does.
Urban Meyer. Man.
I loved what Urban did for Ohio State, but the minute they hired him, I was like, this is gonna be a disaster.
When you've seen super talented, super successful coaches, Nick Saban, go to Miami and be wildly unsuccessful.
Yeah.
It's different. It is different because a big part of the college game is the recruiting process. You can bring all the guys in that you want. You can have studs and 5 stars all over the place.
Well, what's crazy to me is Urban Meyer at Ohio State was such like the guy, the leader, the professional. He goes to the Jags and he's, feeling up blonde chicks, kicking
That
kickers.
bar, yeah.
I mean, who can blame him? But still, you're an NFL coach. All right. At the end of the day, you can't be doing that.
Right.
It was just not meant to. It was.
Y'all can't say that. I can say that. I'm a free agent.
So a little bit
We're ready for that one, were you, Blake?
Nope. A little bit about Brenton Strange, tight end out of Penn State, 22 years old. He's 6'4", 253 pounds. He ran a 4.7 40. 4.7, man, at 253 pounds and 6'4". That's fast. He says, I look elsewhere in a deep class if you want a run blocker, but if tight end is receiver first in your offense, Strange is your man. So it sounds to me like, Jaguars just had an explosive piece in their passing game.
Yep.
The Texans just continued with a
Broncos traded up.
Oh, interesting. Juice Scruggs, center. Well, I guess they got him listed as guard, but isn't he a center?
If you're the Broncos, do you take Hooker?
Yeah. It's not a bad.
You know what I mean? Like, you're probably rolling with Russell Wilson now, but if he's terrible again this year,
With Peyton.
the only way you can move off of him is if you got a super cheap rookie sitting there. You know what I mean? Because you can't afford to bring anybody else because you're paying Russell Wilson so much money. I also saw a thing today on Twitter that the NFL was drafting, or the ESPN was grading the draft last night, and the Browns and the Broncos still got draft grades based on based on like what we got instead for our picks last night. So like they said we got a C- or a D or something like that because of overpaying for Deshaun and all this stuff, and then they gave the Broncos a C. And I was like, they're paying him a ton of money. They gave up more to get him, and he was awful.
He makes more per year than Deshaun Watson. We talked about this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm just getting more excited as each pick keeps coming in. Dude, if the Browns get Trenton Simpson, Josh Downs, I might just run around here.
I'm ready.
This
I'm
Broncos
so
pick
happy
is
just watching all these guys fall to us.
this
Yeah,
is a
until
guy,
they take your guy right here.
This is a guy that I knew you were getting that you had on your radar.
Uh-oh. So it's not Hendon Hooker.
Linebacker? That's
No.
my guess.
Wow.
Oh, there goes Marvin Mims.
Wow.
Okay, so instead of saying we don't think Russell Wilson's the guy, we're going to take a guy to back him up. They say, let's go
You know
get
what?
Russell Wilson
Some
another weapon.
weapons.
It
Yeah.
makes sense, though, because they are so desperate to make this work because they have put their entire future of the franchise on this move to the point where they traded first-round picks
For a coach?
For a coach.
which nobody talked about.
Yep.
So
It's
That's
crazy.
a very good point.
That is, I feel like that has flown super far under the radar.
Yeah.
They traded for a coach.
Exactly.
That's nuts.
That is nuts.
Okay, trade up, Browns. All right.
So Marvin Mims, wide receiver out of Oklahoma, 21 years old. He's 5'11", 183 pounds. He ran a 4.38.
Yep.
It's like the Flash. Mims is on the smaller side for the position, but is the type of athlete who can make up for it. He went for more than 1,000 yards last season and averaged 19.5 yards per catch for his career. I knew that was somebody that a lot of Browns fans kind of had their eye on as a potential target.
It's a nice piece.
I just don't know. I don't know what the Browns are aiming for tonight. I feel like they've stayed super quiet. You've heard anywhere from running back to we've heard literally every position of need, and I don't know what Andrew Berry will like. What is his? Because we know like history says he doesn't value interior defensive lineman. He doesn't value middle linebacker or inside linebacker play. So it's. I'm very curious to see where we go.
I will tell you this much. If we get to 74 and the list of guys are on the board that are, on our list here, and they take DeJuan Jones, I might just walk out. I can't.
Why don't you like DeJuan Jones?
Because I have watched DeJuan Jones. Obviously, Ohio State. Mm-hmm. I've watched him in person many times. He is the perfect prototypical giant offensive lineman that can't do jack.
Isn't that Barry's guy too? Wasn't Barry super impressed with him at the senior day?
Well,
senior
turn
week?
on the tape of Boye Mafe versus DeJuan Jones. Mm-hmm. I saw Aiden Hutchinson absolutely body DeJuan Jones. Same with Boye Mafe. And Boye Mafe, as good as he is, a lot smaller, not as strong, and that's a dude who's like a fourth-string defensive end on the Seattle Seahawks. So,
Hey, I'm just letting you know that your boy Jalen Hyatt is still on the board.
that's
Cedric Tillman's
that's
still
why
on the
I'm
board.
not as upset.
Trenton Simpson, of course. Darnell Washington's still on the board.
So
I'm not as
Josh
upset with
Downs.
Marvin Mims.
Drew Sanders. A lot of these linebackers, too, that we thought might not be there. We'd have to trade up for. They're still sitting there.
I'm loving this chat, by the way.
I know.
I can't see the
I'm loving this chat. Like
My phone's charging, but shout out to the chat.
we got Hayden Youngblood saying all Ravens fans drink Bud Light.
With some emojis.
Tony De Pasquale. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that. He says, "Can I ask a question?" Go for it.
Yeah.
What's your question? And then this person says, "My 12-year-old niece uses emojis," and then everybody just started throwing
All the Browns emojis in there.
This is going exactly how I wanted it to go.
Good.
So we appreciate you guys.
We're 10 picks away.
Off-Grid
boys.
Woodsman said
We are
Ravens
10
had
away.
6 Pro Bowlers. One of those was Huntley, so
So it doesn't
technically
count.
5, bro.
To brag about Huntley being a Pro Bowler for
a
your team, it's
joke.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
You look stupid.
I mean, the guy had, what, 2 touchdowns, 6 picks? Come on, guys.
That sounds like Lamar's playoff stats.
Oh, yikes.
Shots fired.
Blake is just swinging tonight.
Hey, this is your first time meeting me in person. It's
This
not
is it.
it's
This
not a
is it right
shtick.
here.
What did I tell you guys? I said as much as I love you guys, I can't wait to meet Blake.
Well, and I told you, I said, Blake is Blake. It's not a show thing. That
Larger
is
than
him.
life personality. Absolutely.
So Tim Voss says, "You guys kill it. Thank you for the great content." No, thank you for listening.
Yeah, otherwise there'd be no content to produce.
Yeah, because when we first started this show, we'll turn it back. I was super pumped to get like 10 views. But now I would not put in this effort for that. I'm just being honest. So I appreciate you guys making it worth the effort. I don't think I could convince my wife to let me do it this much if I was like, got 12 views on this week's episode.
Yeah.
She'd just be like, "I'm going to need you to stay home and do the dishes."
Yeah.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah. No, and I'm not saying if you're getting 10 views, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying, like, we paid our dues. I'm done with that.
Well, this is
Why
what
you calling
we're-
me out like that, Blake? I mean, geez.
DF, I've been watching your stuff for years now.
Yes.
Kanban Music, thank you for the donation. Expectations for Grant Delpit this year.
High.
I have very high expectations.
Yeah.
Last year he stayed healthy, and I thought he flashed. Like, there were times you were like, "This is the Grant Delpit we want," and I thought we're using him all wrong.
Correct.
That,
Yep.
I mean,
There it
that's
is.
is there a staple of the Joe Woods defense? Yes, it's playing people out of position.
Yep.
and not playing them to their strengths.
Oh, there's
So,
another-
Okay.
I'm not mad at that because I wasn't super high on him, but he's an option.
so
Do you
I-
think Thornhill too? Like, I think that's a great ad for the Browns, and I think that brings a lot of maturity and leadership to the defense, along with Schwartz. I think just some of our younger guys, I see them just growing up a lot and just kind of buying in. I don't think anybody bought in last year. I don't think anybody bought into the defense for the last few years. And you
agree.
saw that as far as leadership and what was coming out in, like, after the game, like what people
John
were
Jones,
saying.
And
Yeah.
it almost turned into, like, once one bad thing happened, it was almost like oh, here we go again,
Yeah.
and it just snowballed.
Yes.
Tony wants to know, how does the TV have queued up tape on all the draft picks if no one know where they are going? Well, I know it looks like we're like in a Hollywood studio. We're not, so I can't answer for ESPN, but I would have to guess that's why they're so delayed.
When you have millions upon millions of dollars, you can hire people to do that.
Yeah, they have cut-ups of, I would imagine they got cut-ups of everybody, and it's just by their name, and as soon as they're picked, they just click play. That's what I would guess.
A lot of preparation went into what you're seeing on ESPN right
Yes.
I want to comment on Juan Thornhill, so I won't give away where I work. But where I work, I'm constantly talking about sports with people coming in, and we get a lot of visitors. And we had people come in from Kansas City, and naturally I was talking with him, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, that's right, you got our guy." He was like, "Yeah, I was pissed to lose him, man." He's like, "I loved him. I don't know why we let him go. You
Yep.
guys didn't sign him to that big of a deal. We could have kept him." He said he's going to be a team favorite. He said he's a leader, and he's one of these players similar to we were talking about with Stroud, who the regression, it just keeps continuing. He said that's the same thing with Juan Thornhill, is he's just keep getting better and better and better. And I brought it up. The Browns have a better secondary when used in the right spots than the Chiefs. So you throw that out there, and then you kind of put him in that puzzle with Delpit.
Yep.
Use Delpit in the right spot. Jordan Battle's still on the board.
Yes, he
you
is.
know, there's a lot of potential. I mean, this is
I
exciting.
think it's biggest move for the Browns as far as just impact going into this season. I know the Schwartz, just hiring him and getting a leader as far as somebody that commands the defense. And I don't think coach is going to have to, as far as Stefanski is going to have to worry about the defensive side of the ball. That guy is going to command the defense. That is going to be his deal. But I think as far as like a player, absolute home run. Absolute home run.
One thing that I think you will not see with Jim Schwartz that you saw so much of under Joe Woods is that the miscommunication on the field, people giving up on plays, giving up on the game. And, I mean, because first of all, Jim Schwartz won't let that happen. If he sees that, I mean, he will address it immediately, and these players will respect him in a way that they didn't respect, Joe Woods.
So we got a couple questions here in the chat. It says,
I thought you guys were listening to me.
No, I'm sorry. We're just having our own.
I
we're doing
saw
our own-
Justin's got a heck of a watch on. I just saw that thing flash.
Yeah, sorry. We're just having our own show over here on the side.
Yeah.
what position, with the Browns pick getting closer, what position do you want him to go here?
Yeah, we got a poll running right now. So D-line, linebacker, safety, or other. What do you guys say?
Tight end.
Okay, so you're an other.
Okay. All right.
I
Why?
voted other just
You
for
kind of scare me, you know that?
Here we go.
You're
Yeah,
so
let's open
quiet.
it up.
You and every female he's ever been associated with.
Hey, it's all right. I get it.
I'm just joking.
We've
John.
never talked about it, but we brought it up. My wife has said that John has never had a conversation with her.
I have actually had a conversation.
Okay.
with
So
her.
All
she
right.
just didn't remember?
Have you ever had a sober conversation with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're calling her a
Or
liar?
maybe no.
On
Maybe she
national
said
TV?
you
Making
haven't
my face right here.
been
Down
to
on my
engage her in a
terrible,
conversation.
women's skills.
Believe
I had a
me, I'm not
conversation.
far off.
I've had one.
Okay.
But here's the thing: she's never had a conversation with me either.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Okay.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
He said, you
Shame
better
on you,
talk
wife.
to me first.
See,
Yeah.
I mean, Blake's been one of my best friends for like 10 years.
Yes.
I
Aw, how
pretty much
cute.
never talk to his wife. Like, hi, Kiva. How are you? End of conversation.
So what position? So
Yes.
you're other, or what do you want them to? What do you think they need to address?
I voted other just for fun. I want to see linebacker, or I mean, I wouldn't be mad if we got a receiver.
Okay.
Now
I
like
guess
you a lot more.
I should have thrown receiver in this poll.
Derek, what do you got?
I'm getting giddy because I love Josh Downs. I know people don't like him, but I love Josh Downs. And
Who's Josh Downs?
Wide receiver from UNC. He's
I'm not asking because I don't know.
Oh,
I'm asking
For the
in case
people.
don't know.
well, sorry.
For sure, yeah. Wink, wink.
All right. Well,
In case anybody knows, I have a young child this year, and I did 0 draft prep, so
Yeah.
I'm throwing it. That's why we brought DF in.
Yes.
yeah, I have the time to blow at work coming up with these 6 full pages of notes here.
So who is he? Why are you excited about the possibility of him landing on the Browns?
So Josh Downs and the Eagles could very well take him with one of these 2 picks, but he's a guy, for me, the only way I can describe him is like a Jackson Smith-Njigba light. Like, I don't think it's fair to say he's like the same player, but as far as the same skill set and how he plays football, very similar. And I think I've talked about this countless times. The Browns at wide receiver need to have long-term solutions because Deshaun Watson is here for that 5-year contract,
Yeah.
whatever. So you need to pair guys with him long-term, and the skill set that he would bring now with Elijah Moore is what excites me so much because he's versatile, kind of like Marvin Mims. Z receiver can play all over the place. I would, or even Hyatt, or
Yeah.
any of these guys.
I like the
man.
points that you've made lately here about wide receiver for the Browns, saying that if they don't address the long-term solution at their position, we could be in trouble because DPJ could play himself out of the Browns' pocketbook next year. I mean, Amari Cooper's not going to be here that much longer, so the top end of our receiving room, we've got to start thinking ahead. And Elijah Moore was a great use of our second-round pick because we're not getting a receiver in the second round like Elijah Moore.
So
this year.
I want to clarify, since we're all together now, and we
Yes.
don't have to say this separately. That's one thing things I've been saying a lot is DPJ, and people have been hounding me in the comment section and on TikTok I've seen and on like YouTube Shorts. What is this? Why are we talking about replacing DPJ? America. I love Donovan Peoples-Jones. I want him to stay a Cleveland Brown, but he's not free, okay? Look at NFL free agency. Wide receivers who are not that great are being paid a lot of money.
Yes.
Donovan Peoples-Jones had a great season last year and has continued to progress. He's now had will have a full offseason with Deshaun Watson and then a full season with Deshaun Watson with additional threats underneath. So opening up the deep side of the field where DPJ can really attack, he's going to get a bag. And I don't think it's going to be from Cleveland. That's why you got to address it long term.
You think his value is going to be that high on the free
I
agent
do.
market?
Because of the position. Receivers constantly gone
I say free agent wide receiver market is always slim because like the high end receivers either get traded or re-signed.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to shout out Broncos 750.
Yeah, I saw him in there. I saw him in there. I did see that.
He told me he was going to comment that tonight.
Yep. I saw him jump in the comments, and I just said, "Oh,
I see he's too cheap to pay 99 cents, so I shouldn't have shouted him out.
It's okay.
But I also saw a question here I wanted to get to, which we're going to get caught up on these Eagles picks, I promise. It says,
I know I missed him too.
it said, what do you guys think will happen with Jed Wills?
Well, I can tell you this much. I have heard from sources that Jed Wills does not pay his Uber Eats drivers. So, yeah.
So he's saving up for when he gets cut?
And I've also heard other stories about Jedrick Wills that are not PG-13, so I will not say them publicly on this show, but I don't like Jed at all.
Do you think they didn't pick up his option, right? They're not going to pick up his option. Or they did?
I thought they did.
Maybe they did. Here's my thing is, I feel like he's got like this year to show that he tries.
Yes.
And if
Well,
not,
he just doesn't care.
yeah.
He's the laziest offensive lineman I've ever seen.
It's crazy too because like, if Bill Callahan can't get it out of you,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, hey, who is?
And he's not playing with Baker anymore. He's got a reason to block now.
Google wouldn't let him pay. That's excuses are like b-holes. This says unrendered. Jedrick Wills plays too much video games. This is a guy who plays too much video games. Not true. I don't want to start blaming video games for poor play because then that argument will get used against me for my poor performance at work.
Maybe if Jedrick Wills played Madden more, he'd learn how to block.
He just doesn't try, it seems, or he just doesn't have he doesn't finish the play. Once he's beat, it's done.
Yeah,
There's no
Yep.
secondary effort. So we just kind of missed the Eagles went.
Safety.
They had 2 picks back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed one of
There
them.
goes Drew Sanders off
So
the
then they
board.
went Tyler Sheen, tackle out of Alabama, and then Sidney Brown, safety out of Illinois. So you like that pick?
He was. Let me
Get
pull
your
out
notes,
the
man.
Get the
sheets
notes
here.
out.
Because there was
Justin, you got to appreciate the
Yeah.
handwritten
I like
notes
I'm
on paper, right?
I'm a handwritten notes
That's
kind of
right up
guy.
your alley.
Yeah, that's right up my
I hope
alley.
nobody from my job is watching right now, but I just want you all to know this is what I've done for the
What do you
last
do-
week at work.
What do you do for work?
Without saying it, just so you don't get in trouble.
I don't know how to say it.
Tell us in dumb way, like in
a dumb way.
Okay.
poorly describe your job.
I get a significant discount on Ohio State gear.
Okay.
So you work at a collectible place.
Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, that's not accurate. But so Sidney Brown. Okay, so there's 2 of them here. There's Jartavius Martin, who's a safety, and then Sidney Brown, who's a safety from Illinois. Sidney Brown was the one of the 2 that I liked because he's more of a hybrid, where Jartavius Martin is strictly a free safety. I think we need kind of that hybrid because Delpit is another guy, contract-wise, where
Ooh. Sorry, I know who this Lions pick is.
Delpit's one of these guys, kind of like DPJ, contract-wise, where it's like if he
Right.
plays really good, are we going to pay him? And if he doesn't play good, then do we really even want him? So I think I'm more so looking at strong safety as a position to fill, which is why Jordan Battle hopefully didn't get picked here, but I don't like how you're looking at me, Blake. What's
No,
that
I'm just
mean?
waiting.
I'm going to say
No.
prediction,
I'm
based
just
on what
waiting
his
for you
reaction
guys to see
was,
this pick.
Hendon Hooker went to the Lions. Just based on his reaction.
Oh, I don't know.
Hendon Hooker's a
Good
Detroit
call, man.
Lion. Let's go, baby.
I could just, he recognized the name and said, oh, there it is.
The Lions.
So, yeah,
If
I was
that
going to
is
say,
the
you know,
pick,
if it
that's
was
a
any
hell-
other
that's a
name, you
great
wouldn't
pick.
know.
That's a hell of a pick.
it's the
Sorry.
pick. It's the
Sick.
pick.
I like it.
I love this spot for him.
Are you
I
because
love
I,
this
think
spot
he
for
can
him.
sit because they like Goff.
Yeah.
Goff's only
Goff's
2
good.
years older than him, which is crazy.
That's
Goff's
why-
been in the league for so long.
Here's the thing. That's why I didn't think they would go quarterback because they like Goff and he's still young.
Yeah.
And
He's
it's-
not that old.
It's not a position the Browns were going to take going ahead of us. So
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
So I just saw Jalen
I
Hyatt
can't
out
believe
there.
Josh Downs
There's
is still on the
Josh
board.
Downs.
That's mind blowing.
Now Nate Dell's still out there too, who the
Tank
Browns
Dell.
have met with. They've
I'd pass on Tank Dell. He's just,
Yeah, I would too.
He's just too small.
Yeah, he's a very small receiver.
So just off the cuff here,
Okay.
real quick. Do you guys want to do another contest drawing now, and then we can do the grand prize right after 74 in case we don't make it to 98?
I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if this broadcast is going to go to 98.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care.
Oh,
Just
sure, whatever
'cause-
you guys want to do.
just because as much as I'm loving this, I don't know if I can sit here until like 1 in the morning.
No, and we're
Oh.
not going to. So how about let's do this, since the grand prize drawing will be. I mean, we're getting close to 74
It's
here.
only 9:30.
This is
I like your. I like.
Yeah.
I like where you're
I'm
at
doing
with it.
another 12 tomorrow, so.
Oh,
It's up to you guys. I was going to say, let's give some people some more time to join the 99 Cent Club here on YouTube.
Okay, so we'll do it at pick 70. We're gonna pick another winner.
How about this? Let me
So
pitch
you probably
an
got about
idea.
10 minutes.
What if we went until like 10:15, and if we're close, then we'll stay. If not, we'll just kick.
So funny story, we did that last year. We were waiting for the Browns. We were like, and I'm texting my wife, and I'm like, we're just gonna wait till the Browns pick. And then we got like right before, and they traded back.
yeah.
And I was, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
if that happens here,
Yep.
especially with everybody available, if you trade back, I'm gonna be livid.
Yeah, I don't think we should trade back.
Nope.
But so we're gonna do after pick 70, we're gonna pick another winner. So
Hey, Lil Fred's watching us from the
Yeah,
draft right
from
now.
the draft.
All right.
get out of that's
All
Kenny
right.
Mack was doing that last year.
Yeah, he was. That's right.
So we kind of glanced over it. We got to you guys position that you want them to go. Where do you want them to go?
I would love for them to address defensive line. I'm very, whether it's edge or I don't really know a name right off the top of my head as far as like, I think they'd be jumping up, reaching too far at 74 for a tackle based on who's still around. But to me, that's the glaring question mark.
Little-
like when
I'm
I
sorry,
think about
keep
it.
going.
No, you're good, bro.
Lil Fred, if you want to join the contest, all you have to do to get 3 entries right now is just sign up for the entry-level Dog Pack membership on YouTube. It's 99 cents a month. That automatically gets you 3 entries, and you'll be entered in for the next 2 drawings if you do it right now.
Yeah.
So, and again, we're going to do the 2 more T-shirt drawings after pick 70, and then we're going to do the grand prize right after the Browns pick. So make sure you guys get your entries in.
For that.
So
Did they redeem themselves?
I'm with Justin here. For me, my brain says I want to go interior D line, but wide receiver would make me
Yes.
the happiest in terms of
Correct.
it's the most exciting.
Let me
There's
go.
no
let me
interior D
let me
line.
tell you. I was just
Right
going to
where
say
we're-
I'm
right where we're
I'm
at.
looking at
Problem
what's
too is
available.
I don't want
Yes.
to reach. Even
Way,
though
we're reaching way,
Yeah.
way too far.
This is my list of guys, right? I'm not saying I'm the one picking, so obviously
Right.
the guy they like couldn't be on this list. Mozzie Smith gone in the first round. Gervon Dexter gone. Zach Pickens gone. Carl Brooks is the only one left, and he's projected to go in the 6th or 7th round.
Okay.
So
And if you're talking wide receiver, like Jalen Hyatt, Cedric Tillman, both from Tennessee, wide receivers are still there. Josh Downs, your guy, DF, he's still out there. There are definitely wide receivers available. I would not hate Trenton Simpson's still available,
yeah, dude,
and I would not hate to see Jordan Battle come
I'd
to
trade
play in
up.
Cleveland.
I would take a receiver, trade back up, and get Simpson or Battle. That's
Because
what
I
would
think
do.
either of those guys could really add a nice element to our defense that we need.
So, not to beat a dead horse, call me crazy. I think Hendon Hooker
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
is better than Richardson.
So
if you're the Colts
I said
you're willing to let Gardner Minshew play this year or even this year and maybe next, why would you reach it for Richardson? I think this guy's going to be better. You could have got him in the 3rd,
Here's what I'll say
and
on that.
and then 2 years from now he could be playing for you.
I
2
think
years from now, he'll be. I'm just saying the age thing with Hooker. I'm telling you, that's what's driven him down the board.
How old is
That
he?
with the injury, he's 26.
Yeah.
Is
No.
he going to be 27?
he's gonna be like 25.
Oh,
I thought he was
better.
24 now.
I'll look it up.
even better.
Blake, I will agree with you in this. who like if they were both to start at the beginning of the season, Hendon Hooker.
Oh, he'll be
would
26
better.
when it starts.
Oh wow. Okay. Hooker would be better. I wonder if
Says,
it's-
when did 26-year-olds become too old?
I'm saying if you're looking for a franchise quarterback,
They play till their mid-30s.
Tom Brady.
you're getting them on their second contract at 31.
Who cares?
NFL teams, apparently.
Yeah, but look how many of them are bad. There are so many bad franchises. Maybe they need to rethink the way they think. To put this in perspective, on a year-to-year basis, how many franchises would you consider like good, smart franchises in the NFL? There's like a handful. So maybe they need to get rid of this, like all this old school, change the way you're doing things. Who cares if the guy's 26? If he's a franchise quarterback, he's going to probably play till he's 40. You can't hit quarterbacks anymore. It's flag football, and it's only going to get worse. To me, that's crazy. Who 26?
I'm with
At 26, I was still considered a child by most people. I still kind of am.
Blake, do you know how old I am?
Matty B said, how old was Brandon Weeden when he got drafted? I want to say 27.
I thought he was older.
Who was?
Brandon Weeden. I thought he was 27.
But Brandon Weeden didn't fail because he was 27. Brandon Weeden failed
He was 28.
Wow, Tank Dell.
28.
because he wasn't good.
Tank Dell to the
Agreed,
Texans.
Blake.
Get some wins.
Tim Vajas, welcome to the Dog Pack supporter group. Did you get
Yo.
that name?
Yes, I just put him in. He's in the drawing.
I can't see the chat.
We said at
Chat
pick
is
70,
very
so we're going to wait till pick 70 is announced.
Yes.
Yes. After this pick, after pick 70 is announced, we'll do another.
All right, so after the Raiders make their pick, we will do the third homage T-shirt winner, and then after the Browns pick, we'll do.
We'll do the grand prize. Talk about the Browns pick. But no, I just
Gambam music.
I love it.
Love it. My most memorable.
You gotta read
Brandon
that-
Weeden
you gotta read
play.
that one.
So he said Brandon Weeden failed because he threw a 110-mile-an-hour ball on a 5-yard slant. My favorite
Yes,
Brandon
often at
Weeden
the guy's
play
feet too.
was that where he tried to chuck the ball off. I can't remember if it was like a running back, like kind of like just a little pitch, and the ball went backwards. You guys remember that?
I think so.
It was awful. It was awful. It was just absolutely epitomized Cleveland Browns football pretty much for my whole life.
Whedon's demise was the American flag. Yep.
Oh,
that was just wasn't that his
What a
first game
terrible-
ever.
What a terrible thing to get caught on camera.
And it's not like you're a 21-year-old kid.
No.
You are
In
almost
his
a
defense.
30-year-old man getting caught under the American.
Did you see Hey Craig? Shout out Hey Craig joining the
all
Dog
right.
Pack supporter group. We
Yay.
appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. No, I think the Brandon Weeden thing, 27-year-old. I think that's just blown completely out. He wasn't bad in the NFL because we picked him when he was 27. He was bad because he was inaccurate with the football and didn't know where to throw it and he had nobody to throw to.
And
we had nothing.
I literally tell people this all the time, and I know this is going to sound awful when I say it. My wife will say, we could have had Josh Allen. And I said, if Josh Allen would have went to the Browns,
Right, because
wouldn't
Josh
be
Allen
Josh
had
Allen.
a whole lot of problems that
Yeah,
needed
those
fixed
first 2
to
years
make
were
him Josh
sucked.
Allen. His first
Yeah.
year sucked.
He was
Yes.
terrible.
So,
in Cleveland, we would have said.
you know what it
outward.
was? Got him Stephon Diggs all of a sudden.
Yep.
Hey, Jalen Hurts struggling a little bit. Hey, get A.J. Brown. Hey,
So
get you a number one.
do you think the Lions talked to Goff about this Hooker thing? Like, do they owe that to him?
You saying golf doesn't like Hooker?
Just,
Probably not.
he's
No,
married.
because
I'm sorry, it was too easy.
I'm really surprised that they went quarterback.
I'm not. I think as good as Jared Goff played, I cannot count on him to consistently play at that
I
level.
mean, he's been to a Super Bowl.
He's had injuries too. So you can, I guess Hendon Hooker's coming off of an injury. but
Yeah, they just tried.
Way to kill my own point.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just surprised, especially if I would
good
if
pick.
if Goff was a few
There's
years
another.
older. If Goff was 31, 32 somewhere in there, and then they pick this guy and they're going to groom him for a couple years, and then by the time he's ready, Goff is in his mid 30s. But like you said, they're close in age. I don't know.
I think it was
I'm
Josh.
just very surprised. Like if I thought the Lions were going to come into this draft and it was just going to every pick was going to be defense.
The thing with Jared Goff, I'm trying to look it up now, but I'm not finding it fast enough to fix what I want to say here. But I wonder what the contract is. Like, Do they have 1
that's a
year
good
left on his
point.
contract, and
Yeah.
they got to think about, okay, now we got to re-sign this guy. He's going to be probably $40 million a year, whatever, upwards of that.
What's he making a year?
I
Do we know that off the top of our head?
Oh, he
Jared
got a
Goff
huge contract
from-
in L.A.
Yes.
salary.
But is it still a huge contract compared to
I think so.
it says right now
contracts
it's
now.
like 31 million. I don't know. I'd
for a
have to
starting
look.
quarterback?
for how many years though? Like
That's
over
that's
the-
this year.
Just
That's his cap hit this
31
year.
for this. Wow. Whoa.
He's got to be getting close to the end of it.
Well, either way, I'm just saying, like, if you think Hendon Hooker can be the next guy to lead the franchise, you don't think he's that far behind Goff or however they've evaluated
I love
him.
this pick.
It might be easier just to keep him on a rookie contract than have to worry about trying to
and you're paying
re-sign.
him a third round
A-
rookie.
oh,
Not
good
a
point, good
not
point.
a first
Yep.
round, top 10
Yep.
or even a first round period. You're paying him a third round money.
By the way, the TV's so far behind. Like the Browns are up next. Like they're 2
Oh,
picks
gosh.
behind.
Don't spoil it.
no,
Nobody,
no, like the Rams are on the clock, and then it's the Browns. We're 2 picks behind on TV.
Oh, well,
I don't want to.
it's going to get surprised.
I want
promise.
to. I want to find out like everybody all at once.
Should we just close it down?
No, we gotta have. I gotta practice my reactions because when we were live last year,
Oh, man, we
or
got
2 years ago, and we
got
picked Greg Newsom, and we had all kind of had our eyes
Nobody
on.
knew who.
on,
I
know,
feel like a
everybody
lot of
wanted-
people were like, "Who?"
and
And
we
I'm
had
like,
our eyes on receiver.
Yeah, we
and
wanted
so
Bateman.
then when they went with Newsom, we were like,
Hmm.
now like I was very excited.
Mm-hmm.
An hour later, but it was just at first I was like, that's a letdown.
You know
now
what?
I'm a big Newsom fan.
you want to talk about you being right. I don't mean to float my own boat here, but right before the draft, I said if I had to guess who the Browns picked at what 20 something, whatever.
26.
26. I said Greg Newsom.
Looking back on it after it was all said and done, it made total sense because they were all. I mean, every news report was pointing toward the Browns being interested in Greg Newsom as a prospect. Their meetings with him. Barry Shuck was on our show months before the draft talking about Greg Newsom. It was like we just missed it. We had our heart set on receiver.
I think we felt like corner wasn't a need.
Correct at that moment, but looking at it now, it's a really good thing we've got Greg Newsom. Obviously,
Yeah, I'd put like 30 corners on our team because they can never
Yes.
stay healthy.
no.
I feel like that's a problem just on any NFL team. Like
fair.
you better be deep in the secondary because if not, you might be good for 5 games out of the year where all those guys get to play together. And other than that, you're going to be struggling.
And versatile too. Get guys who can play inside and out.
Yeah,
because of those
absolutely.
injuries.
So do you know who the Browns picked?
No,
Don't.
they're not on the clock quite yet.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Blake, don't spoil it.
Oh, the Rams
Giants.
traded their pick to New York.
Yeah, Giants just jumped in front.
The Giants need
If
receiver.
it means anything to you, PFF is saying that the Browns' only 2 needs are interior D-line and safety.
That's dumb.
Tell
They
them.
also had Will Levis ranked as the second overall quarterback for a long time.
Listen, the longer I have PFF and the longer like they're around, the less and less I put stock in what they say.
What I've told people before, like, because everybody says, "Oh, you can't just use PFF grades." Okay, I use the grades to evaluate the stats, like what feeds into the grades, whether or not I agree with it. You know what I'm saying?
What kills me about PFF is, like I said, I use Malcolm Smith all the time as an example. I watched him play, and he was terrible, but he was grading off the charts on PFF, and I'm like, there's no way. I'm watching this guy.
So the New Orleans Saints just took Kendre Miller, the running back out of TCU. With them signing Jamal Williams, I mean, are they gearing up for that Alvin Kamara suspension? Do they think this is it? Is this the last year
I
Kamara's
forgot
on the
about
roster?
that.
I don't understand how like he's just getting away with it. It's just like it's just like the Eagles guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like apparently the Browns are the only team that if their player does something seedy, it warrants
Oh, you mean without
punishment.
any sort of like hard evidence or anything
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that? Because Alvin Kamara was on videotape.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
wonder how
saying.
that works with like Jalen Carter too going into this year, like since it happened before he was
Oh, he won't be suspended.
since he wasn't even on a
They can't because he wasn't even on the team.
right.
Who?
Jalen Carter.
I mean,
Unless he did it
Josh
again.
Gordon came into the league on like level 2 of the drug policy because of his drug problem in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He never failed a test in the NFL, and he came in on level 2.
I'm getting nervous, dude.
The NFL, by the way,
We are on the
owes
clock.
Josh Gordon a career.
I know.
They stole a career from him.
Rob Gronkowski's selling CBD oil now and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, come on now.
I'm so terrified that the Browns are going to be
Browns
the
are on the
Browns
clock.
of the past.
And trade back.
And well, not even trade back. Just take somebody random.
No, come on. This is Andrew Berry.
I know.
This is
I
Andrew
know,
Berry.
but still,
this
it's
is
the-
Martin Emerson,
it's the
DPJ,
Browns.
Andrew
Yes.
Berry. We're okay.
Hey, we got to pick a thing, by the way, because it's a past pick 70, and the Browns are actually on the clock. They're 2 picks behind.
Well, I know that now that the. All right, we can. Let's pick the third winner quick.
Yeah, let's do the third
and then
winner.
we'll do the Browns pick and all that stuff, and
Yep.
we'll get to the grand prize.
So this is the third winner.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm
Here we
getting out
go.
of the comment section for a second.
third homage T-shirt winner is Gage Tucker.
Gage Tucker. Hey.
Congrats, Gage.
Attaboy, Gage. All right, so now we'll do the other one real quick for the Brownie.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
That's
we'll
a
get to that in a
great
second.
pick.
So Brownie the podcaster elf for March is going to be. He can't win twice.
Okay.
He can't win twice.
Okay.
Why is this not working? Give me 1 second, everybody.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, it's rigged.
Collusion.
Oh.
Yeah,
Rigged.
there it is.
Recount.
I can't get a T-shirt.
Stop the count.
What do they call that little with the vote where the thing didn't go through, the little tab?
Okay,
can't
it's
remember. Never
Mike
mind.
Jackson.
Mike
Okay.
Jackson.
Mike Jackson.
Michael Jackson?
I'm sorry, Mike Jackson.
I am for real.
I guess that's not the right
No,
word.
that's okay. You're close.
Yeah,
I-
hit
I
that
felt
high
where you
note,
were
Blake.
going. I felt where you were going.
Yeah,
with
so
it.
I'm gonna scroll up on my PFF so I don't see who the Browns take
Yeah,
here,
I'm gonna get out of
and
it
I'm gonna
too.
in chat we're not we're
Getting out of the
ignoring
chat.
you just for a brief moment, just because I wanna catch the pick when it's on the TV.
Yep.
We don't get to do this at all in this draft yet. So
Yeah. So but again, we'll take this moment. We
this
appreciate
the
you guys
Giants?
being
Yep.
here.
So
Giants pick.
do you want to talk about?
this
Do you
is
want to
the
talk about the pick for the Cardinals real quick?
I
The
mean,
corner?
nothing big. I just think he's he's one of the corner position is really deep in this draft, and
Right.
he's just one of these guys that's really good that gets picked late, and
Oh, Jesus.
Right in front of the,
the
Browns.
Cleveland Browns
goes
just got jumped
Jalen
for Jalen Hyatt.
Hyatt. Interesting. Wide receiver out of Tennessee. There he goes.
So
Okay.
now the Browns are
Okay.
On
The
are we
Browns pick is
scramble
already
mode?
in.
Yeah.
Because
Is it?
I already
Okay.
seen the Discord say, should I spoil it? So I'm
No,
not
no,
looking.
no,
no,
everybody,
no.
leave us.
Nobody-
I'm not
nobody
looking
look.
at chat right now.
I'm not looking.
Dude.
So the Browns are on the clock.
The Browns
Hey.
brought in Jalen Hyatt for an interview. The Giants must have thought that was their guy.
Well, Trenton Simpson's on the clock. Browns have met with him.
Trenton Simpson, yeah. I'd still take Downs. If it were me, I'd take Downs.
All right. Would you take Downs, Simpson, or Battle?
Trade every pick we got. Let's get the next 3 picks.
I mean, they
So
just got
who's it?
they just got the guy who
Downs?
won the award for best receiver in college football at pick 73.
So you said
Right.
Downs, Simpson, and Battle are on the clock right now.
Yeah.
I feel like the Giants are building something too. I know there might not be a ton of faith in Daniel Jones, but
They
I
paid him like they have it.
no, they didn't.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, if you extend the guy though, he got more money than I thought he was going to get.
I think, but there's a lot of faith in Brian Daboll.
Yeah,
I
he's
agree
been a
with
really
that.
good coach.
Yep. And so
If Sterling Shepard can stay healthy, but I mean, his legs are just
Yeah.
toasted. I think they're done.
I do like Wandale Robinson. Their
Yeah.
wide
Pick is
receiver
in.
pick
They
last year.
The pick is in. The Browns had it immediately.
Okay, here we go.
So there was no if Hyatt was our guy, there was no panic on the Browns when
Andrew
Right.
Berry
we're not the
said.
Jets.
Andrew Berry said,
Scramble
"Watch
mode.
this."
And you know what? It's not in Andrew Berry's nature to panic.
Okay. Oh, I'm so nervous, dude.
Me too.
So excited! It's
hope
the
it's
first
Bernie
time we've gotten
Kosar.
to see the brown and orange like this
Yeah,
on the
I know.
on the screen.
And
this
this is our
draft.
holiday. We're used to picking so early.
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna pick Jim Brown?
Dude, the guy I work with, anybody who he doesn't know like the draft that well, so he would just make up fake names when people would be like, "So who do you think's going one?"
So the pick is in. Let's get out there. We don't need the pick is in and then like
Cedric
There
Tillman.
we go. I told you I
Wow.
like Cedric Tillman better than Jalen Hyatt. That right there is that's you're thinking long term past DPJ because he's a big body receiver.
Okay.
So what does PFF have to say about this?
Okay.
You guys give us.
Let's get it back
go.
up. I'm back
Give
up.
me some.
I feel
I'm
like
back
I
up.
All right.
I feel like I failed because he was the one guy. receiver I didn't have on the list.
All right, yeah. I don't know why I brought you here.
All right, well, have a
6'3",
good one.
213. There's your big guy.
That's a big body wide receiver. So
Yep.
tell us why you like him so much.
I like him because he was going to be arguably Hendon Hooker's number one receiver till he got hurt. And then as soon as he got hurt, that's when Jalen Hyatt came on the scene.
12 touchdowns.
And ended up winning his award. But Cedric Tillman was the top dog in Tennessee.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Blake.
No,
you're good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Cedric Tillman, at his size, he's got very good speed as well. I remember him being a very speedy guy also.
Let me see if did he run. So one thing, and I haven't done this for anybody else because I don't really give two craps except if they're a Brown. So if you go to NFL, like the actual NFL combine draft prospect grade, whatever, he's got a 6.38. That's graded as will eventually be a plus starter. To get that in the third round is awesome.
That's
and the
great.
chat is very mixed.
Production score was a 76, athleticism 71,
mixed.
4.54 40-yard dash, 1.53 10-yard split, 37-inch vertical, 10'8" broad jump.
4.54 40 is a little slow. But
I'm gonna go see what his contested catch was.
I don't put a ton of stock in that. You already said his stats. He ran a 4.54. Says he's the most physical receiver in the draft class. He's a safe bet as a possession receiver. He only dropped 5 of his
There it is.
104 career catchable
Yep.
targets.
DPJ's gone. That's what this tells me is they think DPJ's
This
gone.
this is like the Quentin Johnston pick last night for the Chargers, where it says this is our last year with Mike Williams, and we're getting his replacement now. You're right. I think. And this is not a knock against DPJ. This is actually in support of how good DPJ is, that we just won't be able to afford to keep him around after this year.
It sucks.
Cedric Tillman, great,
It
great
sucks
pick.
because I love DPJ, but hey.
All right, time to get back in the chat. What does everybody think?
It's mixed. It's
Yeah?
very
Here's the
mixed.
thing: is
I'll put up a poll.
If we think DPJ is going to ascend that much, won't they let Cooper go? He's older.
I don't think so. I don't think it's the Browns think DPJ is going to ascend that much. I think DPJ, the going price for a number 2 or number 3 receiver who's good is expensive.
R is saying too much talent on the board to pick a receiver. I guess my argument to that was all you guys said that the only other defensive interior linemen left it'd be a big reach to take them right here.
Unless they wanted linebacker.
Unless they
or
went
safety.
linebacker.
Which, I mean, there's still a lot of really good linebackers. I mean, it doesn't have to. Hold on. Let's pull out the list.
Yeah.
He
Trenton-
said,
Anthony Schwartz is gone.
Okay.
Oh,
He doesn't make this roster at all.
Trenton Simpson still available. Owen Papo still available. Dorian Williams still available. Noah Sewell still available. Ivan Pace still available.
so this is one of those things. Will people feel better about the people who are down? It's up and down in here. Will the people who are down on this, if we get one of those guys at our next pick here, are they going to be like, okay, well then this is, you know what I mean? Like when we didn't take Newsome, or when we took Newsome and like a guy like JOK was on the board, we were like, but then we still got JOK, and now you're like, okay, well look at this draft as a whole.
right.
If we can still land one of those guys, does that make you feel better about this?
Well, yeah. I mean, I would think so. Oh,
Schwartz
oh,
is headed
my
to the
God.
XFL. Where are the linebackers? Here, Andrew
There's-
Berry just does not value linebackers.
And there's plenty of good linebackers available. I mean, shoot, and I'm not even joking. The Browns could trade back up. I would not be surprised. What do we have?
Yeah.
What are we, 98?
There's 2.
Yeah, we've got 7 more picks to go.
Yeah, if you package 98 and,
Who says
we
you
got-
have to
we
do
got
that?
2
You have 2
fours,
4s
2
and 2
fifths.
fifths.
Yeah.
Go and just go up there.
I would 100% move up because, I mean, you got to think for the future. And if you can grab a Jordan Battle,
How many?
or
We always talk about how many roster spots do we really think are open? Like,
For
Not a
rookies.
lot.
And this is what I was saying.
you know what I mean?
There are roster spots open, but not for late round rookies who
yeah,
may or may not even make the team or may not contribute in year 1. Like, we just don't have room for that.
That's what I tell people too. Like if we had 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, maybe these guys would be making the team.
Right.
We're picking 3rd, 4th, 5th rounders. There's not going to be room for 6 rounders on this team.
and this is a really good conversation talking about like the spots you have because let's talk about wide receivers. Tillman's now guaranteed. He's guaranteed to be here. So you're looking at Amari Cooper's here.
Yep.
Why did I totally just blank on his name?
DPJ?
Elijah Moore.
Okay.
Okay.
Elijah Moore, yeah.
So Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, DPJ, guaranteed to be here.
For sure.
Goodwin, I think will be here because
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
we need that veteran.
Zach
and he-
Anderson gone.
wow.
Wow, there he goes.
Wow. Interesting. Anyway, so I think you need that middle of the pack veteran receiver, and he brings the speed. The Browns added their 2 speed guys with Elijah Moore and him. David Bell, is that put us at 5?
Yep.
Yeah.
5.
I
And
keep
then-
forgetting about, and I even did a whole piece on David Bell.
Yeah.
But
So, I mean, are we going to keep 6, 7? I mean, probably not 7, 6.
I'm saying you're probably keeping 6.
6. So who's going to be at the bottom of that? We know
Schwartz
Anthony Schwartz is gone.
You got to figure that Michael Woods, they're probably going to put him on like an injured reserve
IR.
list, and they're
Yep.
going to
So
keep
they'll-
him another year.
Yeah. But he won't count against the roster.
Schwartz is definitely gone.
Jakeem Grant, does he make it as that last receiver?
I think.
Oh,
for
for sure.
special
I
teams.
think so.
Because I don't think the Browns are done at wide receiver. If there's a guy that they like that keeps falling and they can grab him in the 5th, 6th round, they could snag another.
yeah, there's still good wide receiver value later on.
Yeah.
We've talked about it this offseason. Guys like Bryce Ford Wheaton,
Yeah.
Puka Nacua. There's bigger.
I don't think Bryce Ford Wheaton would be the pick anymore because Tillman is going
That's
to be
true.
your bigger
The
receiver,
bigger guy.
which we talked about with Michael Woods.
Yeah.
You needed to replace that size as well.
Well, and what I really like about the pick is you've seen, like, Deshaun has thrived with like these big. I mean, these guys who can just go up and catch the.
Because he likes to throw.
Bombs.
out,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like Hopkins can go up and get the
Will Fuller.
Will Fuller. Now this guy didn't run like the 40 like Will Fuller, but this is the kind of player like that thrives with Deshaun Watson.
You know what I just thought of? It just totally blanked my mind.
Huh?
Giants traded up in front of the Browns to get Jalen Hyatt, and the Browns took another Tennessee receiver.
They probably took
How
the
much-
Tennessee receiver they wanted.
How much was Jimmy Haslam sitting there saying,
Yeah.
get my guy?
Well, and I wonder if some of the Browns and Hyatt stuff was almost to bait somebody
be.
because they actually wanted Tillman.
Either way,
I don't know.
Either way, I mean, if the Browns took Hyatt, I'd be happy. I know a lot of people who think Hyatt sucks, which I don't. But
like we talked about. I don't think he sucks, but for me personally, if I had my choice between the two, which we almost did, I would have liked Tillman.
I personally would have rather gone with Josh Downs, but I'm not mad at it because it fits.
still on the board.
It fits. Well, yeah. I mean, it fits a need because you're taking a receiver, and it fits the type of receiver that you're needing to replace either Michael Woods this year, DPJ possibly next year.
So
Right.
I want to address a comment. Brandon in the chat says, "Did we not watch the same defense last year? Why are we picking wide receiver first?"
Philosophy.
Deshaun Watson, that's why.
Yeah, you're paying.
And coaching,
defense
I
philosophy,
think we're banking on Jim Schwartz fixing a lot of the defensive problems because it
Correct.
wasn't a player personnel issue last year. I don't
Correct.
think.
Yep.
Like we did address the defense already this year. We hired a new coach. We brought in Tomlinson. We signed with Obo.
Obo. Yep.
You know, like we've added pieces to the defense. We've already filled some holes on
Did you
there.
say
and-
Thornhill?
Yeah, Juan Thornhill.
Yeah.
Like the defense has not gone unaddressed. You know what I mean? You're in the Browns rosters kind of is good enough right now that you could pick the player you wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you weren't drafting for absolute need at pick 74. You were kind of picking for luxury a little bit. Because I mean, let's face it, there's a good chance like if you pick at 74, there's some good players left, but are there plug and play day one starters right now? I don't know.
I feel like maybe Jordan Battle could be,
That was when I talked
but
about
I see what you're saying.
when I talked about Jordan Battle in the last video I did, I kind of stumped myself on that because I could see him coming in and starting and them starting at strong safety. So using Thornhill strictly at free, using Battle strictly at strong, and then having 2 rovers
Oh, okay.
with
Delpit and
Delpit
JOK.
and then JOK.
Yeah.
That could be, but I would trade up. There's too much talent on the board.
There's too much talent that the Browns need and that the Browns have actually had connections with.
And they're not going to use all these picks.
Uh-uh.
I would be shocked if
Right.
they used all of them. So trade up now. Why would you
yeah.
trade up in
Do
the
it before 10, please.
Why would you trade up in the 4th and 5th round when you can trade up here and get more impactful players? I mean, Keely Ringo, we're not going to take a corner, But Keely Ringo, for whoever needs a corner, this guy was going to be a top 10 pick literally not that long ago. And he's dropped like crazy. Nobody's even talking about it. Mm-hmm. So
Cambia Music says, when was the last time we had a big wide receiver, high point, consistent?
Josh Gordon.
He wasn't even like a big body, like tall. Joe Jaravicious?
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Like when I'm thinking like big
Going
body
back in the well.
When I'm thinking big body possession receiver, when was the last big body possession receiver we had?
I don't know, man.
Like
It has been a while.
Well, I said Joe Jaravicious funny, but that might seriously
Yes.
that might seriously be the last time we had a big body possession wide receiver. If you're not looking at DPJ,
I was going to say, well, DPJ, but
DPJ's contested catch has just like it's had to have eclipsed all expectations. If the ball is within 5 feet of this dude,
good pick.
Catches
There he goes.
See?
Josh Downs
Anthony Richardson
goes to Indianapolis.
oh my god! You mean Gardner Minshew getting some help
for now. When did the Browns pick next? 98?
98.
Oh man!
Which I mean, picks are flying now.
Yeah.
We're grinding through it, but
Grinding is right.
it's a grind.
Just want to, all right, real quick, while we're kind of in the middle of conversations here, shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys just hanging out with us all night. This has been a ton of fun.
Dude, we're up to 100. This is the most we've ever
178
had.
viewers right now.
Oh,
I mean,
And it's got to be thousands of comments.
Yeah.
It hasn't stopped since we weren't even live yet.
Yeah, I was just hanging out. We were just making burgers downstairs, and
Tim
just
said
hanging
to
out.
stay on,
Cedric
guys.
Jones.
Grab a beer. Oh, I wish that were an option right now, Tim.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, and Kyle, thank you. You're doing a great job back there,
Shout out,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Yeah,
All
you
the
guys-
camera switching and stuff, Kyle is just knocking it out of the park tonight.
If you follow us on, I think it was Twitter, we put out a picture of the studio, right?
Yeah.
This is
So
dope.
you can see the studio that we're in tonight.
Yeah.
We're using the special studio for this special night for you special people. But poor Kyle is like in this very dark little corner. We're like this big building, and it's completely dark in this building except for right where we are. And Kyle's just like sitting
I can
off.
just see a little bit of face. That's it. Just a little bit of light.
He's like a
Steelers
vampire.
have traded the pick to the Panthers.
Okay.
So
I want to say this for the viewers, since we're at our peak viewership right now. These guys, I mean, they get to be in the studio. I told them I'm coming from my bedroom studio that I set up each time. This is sick. Like, this is awesome. So I just want the viewers at home to know, like, y'all went all out for the draft because this is legit. I mean, I feel like I walked into ESPN when I walked in.
So what's really funny? So we got a little bit of downtime here before the Browns next pick. Josh asked me if I want to do a Browns podcast. It's been years now. It's kind of
2020.
crazy. It's kind of crazy that we're going on the 4th season of doing this.
Yes.
But I remember. So then I texted Justin, and I'm sure you guys remember Zachary Kopp. And,
Shout out, Zach. What up, bud?
In OG Dog, and I asked them if they want to do it with us, and they said yeah. So Justin was with me, and we went and picked up Zach, and we came in, and I remember I walked into the room, and there's this little. It was the half oval table, and we all had our mics, and we didn't know how to put them, so they were in front of our faces. But we had these lights. And then Josh's phone was on like a little gimbal, or no, I don't even think we had the gimbal yet. It was on the music stand,
yeah.
And he had it propped up on a music stand, and we had like this little 13-inch TV behind us that we put our dog's picture up on. And I was like, "This is so freaking dope!"
Crazy.
I was like, "We've made it to the big time." And during that episode, Josh got a call and his phone fell over.
Oh, my
It
God.
did. Yeah, my phone started vibrating. It was like,
And it just fell over, and that's where we started that. And then, like, if you go back and you watch our early episodes, you can kind of see, like, the evolution of the studio and stuff. And the only way that happens is because you guys watch the show.
that's 100% accurate.
So that's the only way. We don't go from Josh's phone falling off the music stand and the 20-inch TV behind us to this if you guys don't tune in. So we really, really appreciate it.
Browns fans are great, man.
Browns fans are the best. I love defending Browns fans on Twitter and everything because it's just us against the world. And
It's
we know
somehow the most toxic community, but at the same time, the best community.
because it's so filled with passion.
yeah,
That's the thing.
exactly.
So I know. I just said I don't put a ton of faith in PFF sometimes, but they gave us a very good for our pick.
We'll take it.
It says in a draft class of undersized.
Never mind. PFF, great.
Yeah, in a draft
This is a good
class
point.
of undersized wide receivers, Tillman was among a few of the top prospects with prototypical X measurables. He has good size, he is physical, and he attacks the football in the air. With the additions of Tillman and the trade for Elijah Moore, Deshaun Watson will have more options in the pass game entering his second season with the team. And I think once you go out and you trade all those picks and you give Deshaun all this money, like you have to then throw things at him to support him.
Yep.
And because then what's the point? You know what I mean? Like
This-
it'd be stupid.
This draft, if you followed any draft circles beforehand, like the wide receiver, the top end of the wide receiver class was very limited. It was like JSN, maybe Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison. Yep.
4 guys.
But and even those guys were questionable. There was really no dog stud. This receiver is going to be amazing in the NFL. But
JSN was, and then he quit.
yeah, but you talk about these true, what is the true X receiver?
Yeah.
There's really none in this draft other than Mingo, and it was Cedric Tillman. And I think those were pretty much it. So when they talk, when they say that, that's true. Like this class did not have a lot of big-bodied receivers to choose from.
And the Browns have a history of drafting tiny wide receivers. And so to go out and get a big body guy is nice. It's a relief. The Browns have drafted enough 5'9", 5'10", 165-pound wide receivers.
Yes.
We don't need any more Justin Charleses running out there.
Yeah, I feel it.
So we got the poll. 67% people said good pick. Louis Lou says it's Cooper's replacement. I don't think it's Cooper's replacement.
No.
Because as much as we like DPJ, if you take Cooper off this team, the wide receiver room goes from, I think, very good to substandard. Cooper's the glue that makes this thing go.
And we said it too. We're an injury away from being thin then at wide receiver.
Yes.
Amari Cooper gets hurt, which I'm not saying he's injury prone. He's had injuries, but if he gets hurt, it's not as elite.
He's one of those guys where his injury, like whenever we first got him, I was like, I love Amari Cooper, but he's kind of hurt a lot. But if you actually go look, he doesn't really miss that many games.
No, he just plays through.
Yeah, he
Yes.
gets hurt in games and
He just keeps going.
Grinds.
Yep.
So, now this is a good time, by the way, to remember. We want to thank Omaha Steaks.
Yes.
If you were here at the
Ooh.
beginning, we were eating hamburgers on TV.
Yep.
So I'm sure you guys got some great stills of me shoving the meat in my mouth.
There it is.
But shout out to them. They're sponsoring tonight's episode.
Who said that earlier? Said swallow that meat.
That was
I-
Fatal Gnome, right? Was
Yeah.
Fatal
Might have
Gnome?
been, yep.
With a donation.
Paid like $5 to say that.
You can head to omahasteaks.com, use promo code DOGS. You get huge discounts on their website. Summer's right around the corner. Going to be doing tons of grilling. So
Mother's Day's coming up. If you guys are having cookouts,
a huge shout out to them.
Yeah.
Again, if you've been in this chat all night and you're seeing all these YouTube members and stuff, and they're all talking like they know each other, it's because they do. They're in the dog pack. They've jointhedogs.com. You can become a dog pack member on the Patreon. You get into the Discord. It's been popping off all night. Everybody's having a ton of fun hanging out with us. So if you've enjoyed the live and you like more interaction with us and you like the interaction in the chat, that Discord's a 24/7 thing.
Yeah.
If you put something in the Discord, you're gonna get 50 replies within seconds. It's awesome. So if that's what you're into, jointhedogs.com. Just a little bit of a plug while we had a couple seconds of downtime.
Benji Mass just jumped in and said, "Who did we take? I just got here and finally has some time to relax today."
We
Cedric
took Bernie
Tillman.
Kosar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benji, I think this is he won the shirt a little bit ago.
Oh, Benji.
You just got in here. You were a
surprise.
winner tonight.
Which one did
so-
he win? Did he win the homage or did he win the podcast?
He won the podcaster shirt. Brownie the podcaster, Ralph.
So Benji, if you're just now tuning in, congratulations, you won yourself a shirt.
You see those Oregon uniforms?
That's a reminder while we're talking about if you guys want to get in, we're going to do this homage grand prize giveaway, 2 shirts and a hoodie in the package. So get entered into the contest now if you haven't already. 3 entries can be yours. Just join the YouTube Dog Pack. 99 cents is the lowest tier. It's all you got to do. Jump in here. Get your level 1 badge like Natus the Greatest and Ara and Andrew Jackson, all these other awesome people in the chat.
I'm also supposed to say if you're in the Patreon, make sure you link it with the Discord. I don't really know what that means. That's just what somebody in the chat is telling me. That's the person who revamped our Discord for us over the last week. So if he says it, do it. It works.
If he says it, do it.
Oh, man. What pick are we at now?
We are at
81.
Technically 82.
Guys, I don't know if we're going to make it to 98.
We're not going to make it to 98. Let's just call it now instead of after 5 more picks.
Cam Bam Music, welcome to Dog Pad
all right,
Elite.
man. Thank you.
Yo,
I appreciate
How
it.
about this? If somebody donates $100,
Don't
we'll stay till 98.
I'm still getting off this chair at some point.
Yeah, we can take a break.
Okay, why don't we do that?
Yeah.
Why don't we take a quick
John
5
literally
minutes,
said
a quick
his
5
leg's
minute
falling
break, take evaluate what we want to do. Stay with us, guys, because we still got to give away the grand prize. We'll see how quick these next couple picks go. We'll discuss what we want to do. Like Derek said, if somebody
For the low price of $99.99, you can keep the Dogs Podcast draft stream going tonight until 98.
98.
Oh, how about this? How about that? $98 donation will stay till 98.
Oh, man.
so 98 divided, yes. You can buy my loyalty for less than $20. No, I'm just kidding. Anything, you guys do not have to donate. But if you do, we obviously greatly
No, but
appreciate it.
definitely
Except the
stick
Ravens
around because
fans.
we are going to do the giveaway when we get back for
sure.
Ravens fans, that's your fee. If
So we're
you're
gonna
going to
take-
stay in this podcast or this stream, you got to donate.
Yeah.
You got to pay to watch.
We're going to take a quick 5 minutes. Stick around. We'll see you guys for the grand prize giveaway. Talk some more of the draft. Talk some more of the Browns. We appreciate you guys being here. See you guys in 5 minutes.
Hey, everybody. Just want to thank you all once again for joining us tonight on our live coverage of Day 2 of the 2023 NFL Draft, presented, of course, by Omaha Steaks. Guys, Mother's Day is right around the corner. As soon as the draft is over this weekend, it's going to be May. And in May is Mother's Day. You're going to be having family over. You're going to be having a get-together. You're going to be cooking. You're going to be making food. What better food to make for your family and friends for Mother's Day than Omaha Steaks? Now, you saw us eating the steak burgers at the top of the show. These things are absolutely phenomenal. Omaha Steaks' brand new Burger Perfection Flight is something you have got to try. I'm telling you guys, it's absolutely delicious. Not only are Omaha steak burgers, the original steak burgers, delicious, but now they've actually expanded their steak burger offering. So in the package, for $79.99, you will get 20 burgers. You get 4 burgers of each of their different types of steak. It's incredible. So you're going to get 4 filet mignon steak burgers, 4 ribeye steak burgers, 4 New York strip steak burgers, 4 sirloin steak burgers, and even 4 brisket burgers. 5 different kinds of steak burgers for you to enjoy. It doesn't get any better than that. And at $79.99 on sale right now, it's a no-brainer. Plus, if you go to omahasteaks.com, use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out, you will get $20 off and free shipping on orders of over $129. And I'm telling you guys, that is not that much money to spend at Omaha Steaks because you get so much food. You get a ton of food for your money. Big bang for your buck at Omaha Steaks, and it's absolutely delicious food. Again, Mother's Day's coming up. You guys saw us eating the steak burgers on the show. They're absolutely delicious. If you have any questions, just reach out. We'll let you know. But use that code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. Again, orders of $129 or more will get you $20 off and free shipping. I might as well order 2 of the Burger Perfection packages and just get 40 burgers. It's unreal. So stock up for the summer. Get ready for Mother's Day. And, of course, Father's Day is right around the corner after that, too. Be ready. Be prepared. Get ready to grill. Have some fun. And just continue to enjoy the rest of the night, the rest of the draft. We're excited to see who the Browns come away with, who's going to be new Cleveland Browns on the roster in 2023. It doesn't get any better than this right now. So again, omahasteaks.com, promo code DAWGS. Enjoy the rest of the draft, everybody. Go Browns.
First of all, we start with premium beef. We use only the finest in grain-fed beef, selected for superior marbling and flavor and tenderness. All of our beef is USDA inspected for quality. We exceed all the USDA quality standards. Then we age our steaks to perfection. all Omaha steaks are aged for a full 21 days to unlock the full flavor and tenderness of our fine beef. Aging is a time-honored, old-world tradition that's all but lost today, but there's still no finer way to bring out the best in the beef. They're all hand-trimmed to exacting specifications for perfect, consistent steaks. After that, we vacuum seal your steaks to seal in the juices and ensure freshness. And we flash freeze them at the peak of flavor and tenderness for the ultimate in steak enjoyment. We wrap our delicious steaks with a fabulous service experience, quality advice from steak experts, great recipes, and online information that makes it easy to cook and serve a perfect steak every time. Last but not least, all Omaha steaks are unconditionally guaranteed for complete satisfaction. You must be thrilled or your money back.
I'm telling you, those Omaha steaks are amazing. They're so delicious. Now, before we dive back into our live coverage, I just want to remind everybody that ongoing tonight, we do have the Homage t-shirt giveaway going on. So please, just a quick recap on how to enter. Go to our Twitter page, retweet the pinned tweet at the top of the page. You got to tag a friend in your retweet, and you must also follow Homage and the Dogs podcast. That gets you one entry in the contest, okay? Here's a way to get 3 entries into the contest. Go to you. Well, you're on YouTube right now, obviously, so stay here on YouTube, but join our channel. Become a YouTube Dog Pack member. Pricing tiers start at just 99 cents to become a member of our channel. It's a great way to help support the show, and it gets you 3 entries into this contest. 5 entries into the contest if you are or become tonight during the show a Patreon Dog Pack member. And again, we've got different tiers there too. The lowest one is $4.99. So another great way to support the show. Great dogs community, great Browns community, diehard fans in there. A lot of fun, great place to be. So again, stay tuned. See if you win an Homage t-shirt or the grand prize at the end of the night. Now let's get back to the NFL draft. All right, we're back.
All right.
All right.
Welcome back. We appreciate everybody who stuck around. John, did you want to address the comment?
Yeah, they didn't send me home. I'm sorry, buddy. Dell 982. First of all, I always look unhappy.
Because you are.
I feel like I'm sitting next to Helen Keller.
I'm very emotionally stable on the inside, I promise.
Do you need a hug?
No, I don't need a hug.
No.
Physical touch is not one of my love languages. But this chair is super uncomfortable.
Yeah, you missed it. You weren't here yet, but I got here and sat down and immediately was like,
Blake almost
this
fell.
is
Bro,
not going to work.
He turned into Beyonce immediately. Like, listen, this chair, this isn't it. We gotta figure this out.
The beehive, the Blake hive.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
I was like, guys,
Did
this
you
is
switch chairs?
I
Yeah,
did.
we switched.
There's a chair switch.
Yeah. Now this one, it's not like I switched and I upgraded to like the Rolls Royce of chairs. This thing's very rough on the cheeks.
I feel like if you ended the show from your knees, that would have been a very
The problem is,
He should have just been just standing the whole time just talking.
I
to
got
us.
what you.
the problem is
You don't like touch. I'm sorry.
I was sitting in that one, and I
this
was like
one.
standing up while sitting, and I was like, I can't stand this long, obviously. So, no, John had a long day at work, and he's got to get up and go to work again. So the fact
it
he's even
sucks.
here, you guys should be super appreciative. That's worth $98.
Exactly.
No.
Anybody donated 98 yet?
Nope.
No,
I guess we're not
it's
staying.
okay.
I thought my sales
That's-
pitch was worth it.
That's dead, man. That's dead.
Yeah.
At
not
Miami,
staying.
Just like my hopes and dreams.
So, we want to thank you guys all for being here. Unfortunately, I think we're going to call it an early night before pick 98. It's getting there. It's getting late, and we're not going to pick again for another hour and a half, probably.
Where's it at on Twitter right now? Because obviously the TV's behind.
TV's behind. We are.
Because if Twitter's way ahead,
They're not. We're on pick 85.
oh,
So we still got 13 more picks. I mean, we'd be picking at like 11:30 probably.
I got a 2-hour drive.
Yeah,
That's rough.
and I
Yeah.
have a wife at home who's like, "Hey, can you come home sometime in this day?" So, and I got to get up early. I'm getting family pictures tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh, that's cute.
How cute.
Oh, I
That's so
know
sweet.
it's gonna be fun.
Hey, how about this? Devin A-Chain going to Miami.
I know.
Talk about them getting speed at running back.
Has Trenton Simpson been picked?
No, I don't believe so.
Jordan Battle?
I don't think so.
Tajay Spears went to the Titans. Interesting.
So,
No,
Dude, if the
those
Browns,
guys are still
if
there,
the
man. If they get
Browns-
them at 98.
brother.
we do need to pick our last winners, though.
Well, I do think before we do that, we're going to do some sort of draft recap episode,
Yes.
probably Sunday-ish. Sometime this weekend, we'll have it out. So all the thoughts that we have on the guys the Browns do end up picking, we are going to get them out this weekend, just not tonight, obviously.
Yeah, but I think at least in this room, I'm happy with the Browns pick.
I am too. Yep.
I'm okay with
I
it.
think
I'm good.
Even though like linebacker and stuff might have been, you could consider a bigger need. You can't reach for need though. You know, so if we can still get one of these guys at 98, or even if we have to trade up a couple spots, then it's Andrew Berry hitting another home run, getting the best value for the need.
Yep.
So I didn't want to see us reach just because then that guy doesn't even make your team. You know, so
Well,
again,
who's still on the board is the biggest thing for me. It's like, even if we don't get a Battle or we don't get a Trenton Simpson, there's still guys. I mean, it's crazy to me. It's funny because this is how the draft is every year, and every year I'm still surprised. But
it's super unpredictable.
yeah, I mean, the Browns, if you're mad at the first pick, and I'll say this too, I was not happy with Martin Emerson being picked last year.
I won't say I wasn't happy, but I was very surprised.
And obviously, I was wrong about that. And I fully made, for the 80th time, I was wrong about Martin Emerson. Cozy, you can shut up about me being wrong. But at the same time, it's like, you know, Tillman, like you said, it's a position of need, and it's the type of player in that position of need. And you still have guys available, deep class at linebacker still available, safety. There's still a lot of guys. I am a little bit disappointed with the kid from Illinois because I had him circled. I really liked him, but it is what it is.
So I want to thank all of you guys for being here. Shout out to Greg Queen joining the Dog Pack. We just entered your name, so you got in just in the nick of time. We're going to do a little spiel here, so I would say you got about another minute or two to get your entry in if you haven't done it already. I want to thank everybody for being here. I think we peaked at over 170 people at one time. That's definitely the most we've ever had for a live event. The draft live is kind of turning into like the Dogs annual like big thing. And then we kind of went bigger than we've ever gone so far this year, and you guys didn't disappoint us. You guys helped us out a ton. You kept the comments fresh all night. There's so much time to fill when you're doing draft coverage. It would be very boring and hard to do if we didn't have you guys in the chat making this awesome. So we appreciate you guys being here. Again, thank you to Omaha Steaks for sponsoring tonight's episode. Thank you to DF for driving all the way here from Columbus to be here with us, being our draft expert for the night. It was nice to finally meet you in person.
Expert. Paycheck was worth it.
For being our, thank you for coming here and being our draft person who knows their names. We appreciate you doing that. It's just been a ton of fun. We can't wait to do it again next year. Again, thank you to Homage for sponsoring the giveaways tonight. That's really awesome of them. Again, this was our biggest live night that we've ever done, and it was awesome. And we have to give a special thank you to producer Kyle.
Ravens.
Trenton Simpson.
Are you kidding me?
I guess we're going to talk about this for a second.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
Well, there you go, buddy.
Oh, fudge.
Well, that does suck. That does. Well, that just figures, doesn't it?
That's one of those things that's somebody that you pegged that you wanted and you're the Browns. Like, don't let the Ravens get on the board.
Dude.
You know what I mean? So
He's
that
so
sucks.
fast.
And they're already loaded at
They're
linebacker.
already loaded.
They're already loaded at linebacker. So again, before they made their pick, thank you to producer Kyle.
Yes.
Yes, he
Kyle,
was here.
you the man.
Kyle and Josh both have been here since like 10 a.m.
It's crazy.
So setting everything up and making sure it's all ready. If you weren't here since 10 a.m., just pretending you were.
No, it wasn't too long after. Let's put it that way.
So
It was a
thank
long
you to
time.
them again. Thank you to all you guys. Thank you to everybody who entered these contests. And we'll see you guys this week when we put out a full episode and when we put out a quick draft recap. But until then, let's get to these contest winners.
Okay. Well, let's do the final contest winner. I don't even have it.
Oh my!
Well,
We took a
Well,
5
I got all excited about the homage thing, and then I was like, well, let's do the Brownie the Podcaster Elf one first. Okay. So the April winner for Brownie the Podcaster Elf t-shirt is David McKay.
Well, congratulations, David.
Congratulations, David.
Congratulations! You'll get
This
a
is
hold
where
of
we should have like a round of applause button or something.
Was
Because
that,
it's
wait,
like,
what was that for? Was that Brownie the Elf t-shirt?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations. We'll get a hold of you. We'll get your size. We'll get your address. We'll get it sent to you. Thank you for the support.
Absolutely.
And now for the Homage Grand Prize giveaway, which is a huge shout out to Homage because
Yes.
they gave us a bunch of stuff to give away this year,
Yeah.
which is pretty awesome. So this Grand Prize winner gets 2 T-shirts and a hoodie. So
Yeah.
we're setting you up nice for the upcoming football season. So without further ado, here we go.
Okay. And the grand prize winner is Tony Dog Pound Sailor.
Okay, Tony, Dog
Tony.
Pound Sailor.
Congratulations.
Could have had an
Tony.
easier name to announce.
And thank you guys so much for being here with us. Especially, I know some of you guys have been in here since we went live.
Yeah,
Before we-
before we went live.
Before.
Yes.
You guys have been here with us for 4+ hours. So we appreciate it again from the bottom of our hearts. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Because you guys support the show so much is why we're able to keep making it bigger and better. So thanks again for being here. We can't wait for Pick 98. I'm sure I'll be like in a chat or I'll be in the Discord or I'll be on Twitter when the Browns make their chat. So you'll still get to see our thoughts tonight. It just won't be here on YouTube. We'll see you guys sometime this week when we put out a draft recap episode. And once again, thank you guys for being here, and we can't wait to see you guys next time.
Thanks
guys.
everybody.
It
We
was a great
appreciate
night.
it. All
We had
right.
fun.
Let's go, Browns.
Ho, ho.